Now, this is a very exciting day. This is Ben Croxton. Ben works for Dopey. Ben is a longtime listener, a friend of mine, and a ridiculous support in the Dopey community. I think I've resisted having Ben on the show because he's wanted it too badly, and I couldn't live with the idea of it. You know what I'm saying?
But I never asked for it, did I?
No, I think that was very wise of you.
Yeah, I never asked for it. And you knew I wanted it, but come on.
Well, Ben has a John Bucati original Dopey head behind him. What's the origin of that iteration of the professor?
Sarah Bugdowd? Okay, so that's Dr. Misogyny. She would dress up like that for her class. Like, she's a professor, and she would go into her class as this character, Dr. Misogyny. And somehow Edward got a hold of it and started started putting it in his pictures, and did a whole sabotage Beastie Boys thing. And then I was like, I should make a cardboard cutout of it. And then next thing you know, Edward sends me a link. Best $60 I ever spent. Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how did you discover Dopey in the first place, Ben?
Victoria, my friend Victoria R. She lives in Birmingham. We became friends, and she just was heavy into Dopey Zoom and got me introduced there. And I started listening to the show and just started at episode 1 and became obsessed.
Well, I appreciate you and your obsession. Ben makes our catchiest reels. Ben is on the other end of me going crazy about how we perform on social media and other things, Dopey. Although I've been much steadier of late, haven't I?
It hasn't been bad at all. You've been pretty focused on this whole movie thing, so. And things are good. Things are good on Facebook right now and social media, so. That has a lot to do with it,
Well, tell the audience about the stuff that we've endured over the past few years.
Man. So when I started helping out, we were at 18,000 followers. Chrissy came on and did an amazing job, got us up to 50.
Canadian Chrissy.
She got us up to 50. I don't know. Dave fired her or she quit. I can't remember.
I think both things happened. In the end, I think she got upset. I fired her, then I begged her to come back the next second. Yeah. And she came back, and then that's when the notices started coming in.
Yeah, so I think all of us have been responsible for almost losing Facebook or Instagram at one time or another. And it's always a hard time, man. They start hitting you with those little warnings, those flags. And there's no warning. It's just, hey, you've been flagged. It's you're fucked, basically. And once you get flagged, they take away your ability to be seen by new people. It's a whole mess, dude, and it sucks. But right now, we've tightened ship. Our reels are a little bit safer. We've learned a lot, at least for now, until they change it. And we'll just keep going,
So let me ask you, because people reach out to me all the time, what can we do to keep ourselves from getting removed or flagged? What would you advise anybody who's trying to have a provocative, Dopey-esque, dank recovery-esque, don't drink and go to meetings-esque, meme-driven page or podcast-driven page? What would you advise against?
What I would advise for is think, how can I word this? It's all about the wording, you know what I mean? Can I use bag or can I use something else? You know what I mean? Substance, this, that, you know what I mean?
So what's out? What's out, Ben?
Out is any drug names whatsoever, and I even worry about spelling them weird or whatever. But
heroin with a 3.
Yeah, man, you got to be careful with that shit, dude. So I try to avoid those altogether. I don't think we've ever gotten flagged for a bag as of yet, but
we're done with the bag.
We're done with the bag. Okay.
We have to be done with the bag is coming to get us. If we're not going to get the bag is coming to get us.
Oh, how the roles have reversed.
So what else I mean, and Ben, I just have to say this publicly. I'm extremely grateful for your years of loyalty and hard work. And I think it's very important. And Ben also won, I think he won the fucking Dopey theme song challenge twice.
Twice.
Look at that. Twice. The only repeater came to my dad's house, tried the cereal.
The cereal was amazing. The cereal was amazing, dude. That was the coolest. I still have video of that. I need to post it.
Yeah, I think that's good to post. Did you ever post that?
I probably did. At least on the Dopey podcast.
And what goes on in Dopey Zoom?
What goes on in Dopey Zoom, man? You know, dude, the cool thing about Dopey Zoom is it's like non-denominational. There's no there's no this program or that program. It's like, where are you at? And then like, let's just try to keep each other, accountable and stay sober for this hour at least. You know what I mean? Like, if that's all we can do, that's all we can do. I try to get a little program on because I host the Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. every week. And, I try to put in a little a just for the day or a meditation as Bill sees it, something like that. I try to bring a topic, or you just do check-ins, man. And sometimes we just go off on tangents and talk about crazy stuff,
All right. Well, when we're from Alabama.
Yep. Born and raised.
What town?
The suburbs of Birmingham, like just north of Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah.
And what was your first experience with drugs?
I was at my grandmother's house, you know what I mean? And I had all right, first of all, I was homeschooled like my whole life. I never went to school.
Why?
I don't know. My parents just, I think my mom just wanted to have her kids at home. That was pretty much it.
How many brothers and sisters?
I have two older, and then one, my youngest sister, she has Down syndrome. We adopted her when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And everybody's homeschooled?
Rebecca, actually, the youngest, she went to school the whole time.
They were tired of homeschooling.
Well, the special needs and whatnot, she needed that. But my two older sisters, one went to third grade and one went to the first in like a private school. And then I never went to school.
So what's that like?
Yeah, I don't know anything different. So I don't know what going to school is like. You know what I mean? I think it had a major effect on the rest of my life. I'm the only one of the siblings that turned out to be a horrible junkie or drug addict at all. I think it left me curious as to what's out there and set me apart from others. They always talk about this apartness that we feel. Well, I had some serious.
Yeah, it's always that question of nature versus nurture. Like, would it have happened anyway? I mean, like your two older brothers didn't do that. And
yeah.
Two older sisters didn't do that, and they were homeschooled also. Mm-hmm. How much older?
3 and 5. So 3 years and 5 years. One of them's a lawyer.
Who was a lawyer?
The sister that's just older than me. Sorry.
It's okay. It happens to me all the time.
All right. My sister Melissa, she's an attorney. Yeah. But
did you do school with them? Did your mom teach the three of you?
Not like at the same time. It was like, here's a book, and go read this and fill this out. If you need help, come get me. You know what I mean? Like, I cheated. I cheated through the upper years.
How do you cheat being homeschooled?
You steal the book that has the answers in it and copy them. It was pretty easy.
From your mother?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
What are you gonna do? Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Watched a lot of old television and ate whatever I wanted. Went outside when I wanted. Got to go on trips during school years, and it was good.
And when do drugs start to show themselves?
Well, my cousin Chris, who's actually a fan of the show, he had a joint, you know what I mean? And he probably smoked a couple times and asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, no. And we were at my grandmother's house, and it was late, and finally I just hit it, and I don't even think I got stoned that time, you know what I mean? But that was the first time that I ever even tried anything like that. I think after that, me and my other cousin stole a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. and downed it, and I puked all that up, and alcohol was not what I was searching for, you know. So then we would go to Florida every year for like a family vacation, and my cousin Chris again brought some weed, and we rolled a blunt, and dude, I got so fucking stoned. It was like an acid trip, man. It was so like intense, you know. And I just remember laying on the beach, staring up at the stars, and like, this is it, man. This is how I want to feel for the rest of my life.
How old were you?
I was probably 15 then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're 15, you're on vacation, and you're like, this is it. And then how do you pursue it?
Well, I got a job, you know, when I turned 16, I got a job like at a grocery store. And then you just start making connections, man. We find each other, you know, like-minded people. And there's a dude there that he would sell me some little skeet bags and probably make ripping me off the whole time, but whatever.
Wait, skeet bags?
Yeah, skeet, you know, shorted, you know, little skeet bags.
What are skeet? I've never heard.
He ripped me off, you know what I mean? Like he'd dip out of it.
But what's a skeet bag?
It's just around in the South, you know. It's just it's a skeeter bag, tiny.
A skeeter bag is like a nickel bag.
Yeah, it's like but he probably could charge me $20 for it, you know.
So and skeet means small, or does skeet mean
tiny,
pinched?
small?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like a high school kid buying these tiny bags, skeeter bags.
Yeah.
And they're ripping you off on the skeet bags while you're working in the fucking convenience store.
Well, a grocery store, yeah. Getting buggies, you know.
You were one of the cart guys.
Yeah, I tried to be. I tried to stay out in the parking lot the whole time because like fuck that bag and shit. I had to deal with customers then.
Yeah, the cart guys, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
What is it like to be, we call them cart monkeys where I live, and it's not nice. I talk so much shit about the cart guys, but they all seem like they're like deeply disabled and might kill you.
Yeah.
What's the cart culture down south?
It's the same. It's the same. But see, like since I was homeschooled,
you were like, I don't want to be inside. Keep me with the carts.
But you know, like you get a rapport with some of the cashiers, and they'll like help you steal carton of cigarettes, and you know, you're getting good with the meat guy and like help him rip off a bunch of meat, and then he'll throw you some fucking money or some weed.
Well, tell us like the behind the scenes of the grocery store as a 15-year-old. Like, how do you steal a carton of cigarettes, and how do the meat people funnel you meat and stuff? Well,
so like if you're bagging groceries and there's like a cute girl, and she was super cute, you know what I mean? She's 16 too, you know. And but if you needed cigarettes, you had to like go get the key for management and unlock the thing, get the carton of cigarettes, and then bring it to the cashier. Well, you bring it to the cashier, she throws it in a bag. Oh, whoops, the customer left without a bag. Got to run it out to him. You know what I mean? And you just throw it in your car. And then the meat guy, you just like, you get, you know, probably the same cashier, and you just like, who's not going to notice that all this meat is priced like for $1, you know what I mean? Like $1 for freaking a pack of steaks. And you get there and then you just help them scam. Man, that was forever ago too. That's wild. But all that came to the end because I actually got kicked out of homeschool. Like,
your mother kicked you out?
Nope. So like when you're homeschooled, you belong to like a group, and they're the ones that like keep all your records or send them to the state or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they do, but they would have like labs and stuff, and so you go into like do a chemistry lab or something. Well, I had just gotten this brand new like red Mustang my parents bought me, and I was smoking, like I had a little plastic bong, you know, those little tiny ones. And I was smoking, and I like offered it to this other kid, and fucking homeschoolers are nerds, man. Fucking ratted me out. And so like by the time I get home, the school's already called. I've been kicked out. My parents are pissed. They took the car. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
So hold on. You're in a homeschool situation. They round up the homeschoolers to do labs together in some place?
Sometimes, yeah.
And so you try to get one of the kids stoned, and he rats you out, and then they decide you can't be homeschooled anymore.
Not with them. not with
So
them.
but you stayed homeschooled.
Yeah,
You just
I had
found
to
a
go to
different
another.
group.
Well, yeah, and my mom ended up taking over the group that we joined, so it all worked out.
And how much of a stoner are you at this point?
Oh, all the way. Yeah,
And-
smoking every day.
And how, if you backtrack and because like obviously you went to some horrible places, like when does it start accelerating?
Immediately, as soon as I found a connection, you know what I mean? Like I had wheels, I had money.
They gave you the car back?
No. They gave me back the Monte Carlo. So like they took the red Mustang and then gave me the Monte Carlo, like an 82.
What did they do with the Mustang?
My dad. And then I think later on, one of my sisters wrecked it.
Okay.
Yeah. They wrecked every car that man ever had.
So who's the connect?
His name was at that point his name was Adam. And then I met some of my best friends just skateboarding. They were skateboarding in the parking lot of the food world that I worked at, the grocery store. And I started hanging out with them, you know, Gary and Ricky. Ricky's still with us. Gary's, most of the people in this story are probably dead now unless I say otherwise. But yeah, I met up with them, man, and then they had some connects, so we'd get it from different people, just whoever we could, just smoking weed and skateboarding mostly.
So you were like a kind of classic skater, stoner. I'm imagining you listening to like punk rock and rap music.
No, not really, not much rap. Like Sublime was like one of my biggest influences. Slightly Stupid.
So like that kind of like ska,
SoCal.
Yeah, that Southern California.
Yeah, Operation
reggae.
Ivy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And were you playing music at that point?
Yeah. Actually, I got a guitar, like a shit guitar, when I was like 14, and couldn't even keep it tuned. Like I would take it over to my buddy Alex's house, and his dad would tune it for me, and yeah, and started playing. Was terrible, but just kept at it, you know.
You were one of these classic stoner skater SoCal kids, but in the South.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. And you fall in love with bud. And when does it start turning on you?
Well, you know, pills start popping up, Lortabs at the time, Percocets, some Xanax, and
Is that before or after did you graduate homeschooling?
well, no, this is actually before, and yeah, I did,
Okay.
I did, but I dove off head first after I lost that job. See, I started working at Outback after that Food World job, and like busting tables, and like if you want a career to take off in drugs, man, like go to restaurants. Like that's everything is at your disposal. So
So tell me about restaurant culture and drugs in the Birmingham region.
oh man, you know, you got your cook that's selling dime bags, and it's all shit like Mexican weed. And then you got, you know, some pills here and there.
When's the first time you tried pills?
Somewhere around like Outback somewhere. Well, no, let me take that back, man. Let's go back, because one of the first times me and my cousin Chris stole some of my mom's pills, and my mom's a counter. She counted the pills, so we got caught. I think it was Xanax. I don't remember actually taking the pills, so that's why I think it was Xanax, and like mom had those. But honestly, the first time I remember doing opiates was I had gotten bronchitis when I was 14, and they gave me Tussinex. Yeah, dude. And like I drank the whole bottle in like 2 nights, and like was just itching. I thought I was like allergic. I didn't know, you know, this is the first experience with opiates.
Did you know that the Tussinex would get you? Did anyone's like, you got to try it or anything like that?
I knew that my mom told me don't let anybody else get a hold of it. It's a narcotic. And like that stuck with me, and I was like, okay, cool, narcotic, hell yeah.
What did you know about it? Like, because it's interesting that she gives you a bottle of cough medicine and you drink the whole thing. Like, where had you been hip to narcotics, or was it just her warning that was like?
My cousin like always had this fascination with like drugs and like how and so did I. Like when we took those pills and I'd smoked weed with him, like that turned my curiosity like up, you know what I mean? So when she mentioned narcotic, and I started just like taking sips of this Tussin man, and like it tasted good, and then it made me feel, and my face was itching, and like it just, that warm hug, man, and like I knew I liked that. I didn't know what it was until later, you know, but like I loved it. I fucking loved it.
And then when do the lure tabs show up?
They show up about the time I start working at Outback. You know, you always got servers that are like selling a pill here, selling a pill there, and the kitchen guys have always, you know what I mean? It's just a whole economy of drugs in the restaurant business.
And you're like, I guess I like this, and it becomes something that you can you can spend money on. It's so crazy before you're addicted to drugs, right?
Yeah. And then about that time, that's when I get my first Oxycontin. And
Tell us the story.
One of the other bus boys came up to me and he's like, man, you want an Oxycontin? And I'm like, or he's like, you want an OC? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try it, you know? And he gives me, like I buy it, I think it was a 40. I probably paid $30 for it. And I get the pill. He's like, just do half of it. And so like I go home and I snort half of it. And then it's basically that Tussin feeling all over again, man. Like it's the, you know, that breath of relief, man, and just like everything's good, and I'm like outside skateboarding in my driveway, and my face is itching off, and I end up doing the other half, and that night I guess I ate a Snickers before I went to sleep, and when I woke up, like I had vomited that Snickers all over the side of my dresser. And my mom's like, what is that smell? And I'm like, it's nothing, Mom. You know, I was like, I don't know.
Had you vomited in your sleep?
Yeah.
If you hadn't been sleeping on your side, you would have died.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I thought about that. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like the consequences started early.
In all of my opiate using, I never threw up in my sleep. Like, that's terrifying.
That's the only time.
And then when's the first time you snorted a pill?
I probably snorted some of those lure tabs that I got around that Outback time, but I learned real quick that those things ain't even worth snorting. It's just too much powder.
But I think that's kind of bold that someone's like, do you want an Oxy? And you're like, sure. And then you go home and snort it by yourself.
I have never been afraid of a drug.
But even just to snort, like...
I think he told me to, you know what I mean? He's like, take the coating off, snort it. And
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So you wake up, your dresser's covered with vomit. Your mom is disgusted by you.
Yes.
And then are you like, I like this.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to call him and get some more. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I did.
And was that the beginning of the whole thing?
That was the beginning of that. You know what I mean? Like it's the Oxycontins that played out for a long time, just kind of doing them here and there. But like around the time I turned 18, I started getting into coke pretty heavy. And like I guess I was probably like 17 the first time I snorted coke. I don't remember like the first time I snorted it, but I was definitely with my buddy Cody. He's still around. Cody's.
What do you remember about falling into coke in general?
I remember that it was, you know, man, it was like, once again, it's like being a part of. It wasn't like my favorite thing in the world, but like we would like, you know, get a little gram or something and all be hanging out together and smoking and skateboarding and just getting into trouble. And then it wasn't long after that. It was like my buddy Cody was like, you want to try shooting it? And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, 18 years old, like in his bedroom. And he shot me up.
And what was your reaction?
Whew. Let's do it again, you know? Let's do it again.
Right.
And
it's crazy.
Yeah.
18 shooting coke with Cody.
Yeah.
Getting crazy fucked up and being Gary. Like, I think we should do more. That's got to be a huge accelerant to the because you're as bad. Basically, you're immediately as bad as you can be.
Yeah.
So in your mind, are you like, I shouldn't be doing this? Like, where's your head at?
For sure. When you're coming down, like, off the coke, you know, I can remember being laying in my bed and being like, well, my parents were right. I'm a fucking drug addict, and, like, this is going to be a problem. And, like, you know, just all these feelings when you're coming down that just pop up. And I remember crying, you know what I mean? And, like, but just, oh, well, you know? But, you know, like I ended up, the coke kind of died down, and the Oxycontin's ramped up. You know, I met my friend Erin. She was a dishwasher at Outback, and like she was wearing a Sublime shirt. And so like we ended up being like really good friends. And I grew up in a town called Gardendale, and she grew up in Fultondale, and right next door. And so we kind of knew some of the same people. She knew Cody, and she went to school with a bunch of people. But you know, she introduced me to a whole other set of people and drug users or experimenters. We were all so young, man. Like some of them had drug problems and some of them didn't.
Well, you're all fucking kids. Mm-hmm. And was that like the big beginning of being a drug in your mind?
Yeah.
Were you like, these kids are fucking drug addicts, I guess I'm going to be a drug addict too?
You know, man, I don't even think I thought that much about it, like being drug addicts. But yeah, it was like, I like where these people are at. Like a lot of my idols were drug addicts. And I never was afraid to try something. You know what I mean? Like I always kind of figured that I could like keep it under control or something. Even though it was like obviously out of control already.
Were you into like being into Sublime, you know, Bradley Knoll's story?
Oh yeah.
Like what are some of those stories that stayed fresh in your head and you were like, I'm kind of like these guys? Well,
you know, man, like I mean, he would sing about it in his songs, like Pool Shark, and like, you know, I knew like what it did, but I also knew what it could do for like your creativity, and like, or at least like that's what I thought as a kid. Like here's all these people that were drug addicts, Kurt Cobain, I mean Jimi Hendrix, all these guys that were like amazing musicians, and like I just want to be like an amazing musician and that creative type, and like yeah, and so I was never afraid. Like I always knew that if heroin came around, because there was no heroin at this point, it was just Oxycontin, that if heroin came around, then I would probably try it. And I'd already shot up, so like I would probably shoot it.
Were you shooting coke all the time at that point?
Nah, not all the time. Okay. It was like a little run of shooting coke.
And when does heroin show up?
Well, that's on down the road when the Oxycontins got taken out of commission, you know, when they changed the formula.
So are you staying at Outback? Tell us, like, how does your drug addiction progress, Ben?
Well, okay, so, you know, there's a lot of, I think I tried psychedelics about this time, you know what I mean? Like, we would go over to my friend Robert's house, who was, like, Aaron's friend, and, dude, the house was dilapidated. Like, I'm talking, like, this is some hillbilly shit. Like, fucking roof is caving in. But he's living there, power's on, like he's got a TV and refrigerator and all that stuff. And then like there would just be that one day we're just like all hanging out there smoking and talking about getting pills or whatever. And this dude just pulls up and he's got like a fucking backseat full of mushrooms. And I'd never done mushrooms.
Wow.
And they're like, he had just picked them that day. Like, you know what I mean?
You had shot coke, sniffed oxys, done Lortabs, and you had never done mushrooms. And you're from fucking Alabama. There's mushrooms everywhere, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And no LSD, no mushrooms, none of that?
I tried to get LSD, but it was always fake. Somebody would rip us off.
That's interesting. So he shows up and his backseat is full of mushrooms in bags or in like
he's got
bins?
A cooler, I think. He had a cooler. And then like he got better. We called him the mushroom fairy because he would just kind of fly in there and like sell a bunch of mushrooms and then leave, you know. But that experience, that was a really good experience. The first time eating mushrooms, like with my friends. I laughed for like 7 hours straight. Just riding around.
Did you have any kind of enlightened thinking, like I should probably not shoot coke or do oxys?
No. Nah. I think the shooting coke had died down. Like, remember that I just sent in a story not long ago about when me and my buddy Cody and Gary were off the side of the road, and like in this little abandoned building that was probably like a power substation, and we're shooting coke, and we'd been up all night shooting coke. And I started hallucinating, and there was like a kangaroo in the building with us, and like I'm looking, and like I look up, and there's cops, just fucking a line of fucking cops with their red lights flashing and everything, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, the fucking cops are here, guys, and they're like, what, you know, and so yeah, and then I look up again, and there's nothing there.
And there was no kangaroo either.
There was no kangaroo either, which was the most disappointing part. And
Well, why would there have been?
no, there shouldn't be.
You were hallucinating on mushrooms
No.
you were shooting coke.
This is
in
when
the
I was shooting
warehouse.
coke, and I had like a psychotic break or something, and that was really the last time I shot coke for a long time.
And what was your life like then?
Really going nowhere, you know. I think at this point I'm working in the kitchen at Outback, and
Outback really kept you around, I guess. But how bad were you in general? You showed up to work.
I showed up to
you
work.
You weren't that bad. Okay.
For the most part, I've always showed up to work, like, you know, until it got so bad that I wasn't even employable. But like, you know, I'd show up to work. You know, I wanted to make money, and we'd smoke weed out back and. Outback
at
of Outback. Yep. And
was that a thing? Let's go Outback.
Well, like we'd go out by the dumpster, you know what I mean? And like even
When you're there, is everybody like, let's go Outback? Or they don't get
a lot of times we'd go in the bathroom in the back. Like they had like an employee bathroom in the back, and we'd just go in there and smoke and whatever.
But nobody enjoyed the play on words of going Outback at Outback.
Not that I
just me?
recall. Yeah,
I think I wouldn't shut up about it.
We'd go out by the dumpster, and like one time our manager, the kitchen manager, came up to us and was like, "Guys, if you're gonna smoke weed outside, please go inside the dumpster area. Somebody from the hotel next door called and said you were smoking weed." Yeah, okay. Yes, ma'am.
At Outback, the policy of doing drugs is you have to do them Outback.
Yeah, yeah, you know, and don't be seen doing them.
No, that's always a plus. So you're surviving at Outback.
Yeah.
You're learning the ropes of drug addiction, and like, when's the first time you notice like this could be a fucking problem?
Well, the first time was when I probably threw up in my sleep.
Yes.
And then yeah, that was
First time is when you shot coke. Second time you threw it in your sleep.
And then, like, you know, when I, you know, the psychotic break of the cops see me, there was a lot of signs, Dave. There was a lot of fucking signs that I was not on a good path here. I think I switched.
It's funny how like we can do all this horrible stuff and just keep doing it knowing that there might be signs. It isn't until real like desperation shows up, I guess. So take us down the path towards desperation.
The path towards desperation. You know, the OCs got to be more and more frequent, and I ended up switching jobs, and I went to Ruby Tuesdays, and I was a line cook at Ruby Tuesdays, and I was like a shift leader, and I was making like $12 an hour, $12.50.
Was the food better at Outback or Ruby Tuesdays?
Much better at Outback.
Ruby Tuesdays isn't that good.
No, it's not that good. But met more cool people. You know what I mean? Made some more connections there. I had a lot of fun.
Do you think they had to pay a royalty to the Rolling Stones? Like, where does Ruby Tuesdays come from? Is it just the Stone song?
You know, I've often wondered that. I bet they did.
I wonder.
Yeah.
So you get to what kind of contacts are you making at Ruby Tuesdays?
Just more weed, more pills. One of the dishwasher's parents got a script because like everybody was getting scripts of OxyContin back then. You know what I mean? It was just doc shopping and pain clinics and like so. And they were cheap. You know, $25 for a 40. That was cheap. So.
Because the going rate is like $1 a milligram, right?
Yeah, it got up to that. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would get those 40s. And you know, I'm still not like physically addicted, but at this point, like I know that is withdrawal. I've seen it in other people and what they're going through. And like around this time, the first real consequences of like drug addiction start to show up. My friend Alex and my buddy Tyler, they and meth has come into the scene a little bit too. So they ended up getting murdered over a meth deal gone wrong. Yeah, they were like 18 and 19, if that. You know what I mean? And Tyler.
So what was the story?
Tyler was a meth dealer. I mean, that's what he did, and he'd gotten locked up, and the police had raided the house, and like a bunch of my friends got in trouble over it, and they were this dude, John Ashley. He's in prison right now. Like, I grew up with John Ashley's brother in a small town, and his brother was a really good dude. But John Ashley was always a little piece of shit, man. He was just always like that. And I'd heard that Alex and Tyler had been dealing with him a little bit, and like, I don't know if I warned him, but if I'd have talked to Alex, I would have. But Alex was a good kid, man, and they went there to, like, I don't know if they went there to collect money or to make a deal or what, but whenever they got there, it was like 2 a.m. in like a rich neighborhood in this small town. His dad was a doctor, and they gunned him down. He gunned them both down, like right there in the middle of it, in his cul-de-sac.
What did they do? They tried to rob him?
No, I think it was the other way around. I think he was trying to rob them. Like, they were going to make a delivery or something. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten the real story, but like, him and this girl gunned him down, and then, like, dude, like, his mom, like, tried to help him put the bodies in the fucking trunk. Yeah, dude, like, but the cop showed up in the middle of it. She never got charged with anything, but he got 2 life sentences, and the girl, she did a few years and got out.
If your kid kills somebody and says, "Dad, would you help me dispose of the body?" It's like, what do you do?
Which kid's asking?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, if you want to help your kid, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It was just stupid. It was really fucking.
How
stupid.
close were you with those guys?
Alex, like, the first time Alex ever smoked a joint was with me. And his dad caught us, like, in the woods. Like, the first time I ever drank a beer, it was like a hot Milwaukee's Best. It was disgusting. Was with Alex. Like, we were close, man. Me and Alex were real close. Tyler was always a little bit. I never trusted him. He was a little slimy, dude. He's first kid I ever knew that, like, he didn't have a chance, man. His dad was like a meth dealer, truck driver, and was selling ice, and that's when that whole crew of kids and friends of mine that got, like, off into ice at that point.
How did you deal with the murder? It must have been such. I mean, that's like, it's like you're doing fucking heavy drugs, and was there any other crime happening at that point?
Yeah, like, we were constantly, like, I didn't do a whole lot of crime, man. I would steal a little bit here and there, shoplifting, that kind of thing. But I had other friends that were, like, going to house parties, and he stole like 12 grand from this old man's, like, chest of drawers, And
right, and that's when the first real criminality is obvious, and when your friends are killed. First of all, I'm sorry that your friends got killed. Yeah. But secondly, it kind of crystallizes, like, you are not living the kind of life that you planned on living, or whatever, or that maybe not the life that you want, but then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm in this world now.
Yeah. The next, like, a couple of days later, I'm like at Ruby Tuesdays doing a truck order. There was a truck delivery, and this dude Jackson comes pulling up in his car, man, and, like, his window is completely smashed in. And he's like hanging out the side trying to drive like Ace Ventura or something. And, like, he's coming up, dude, and he's just, like, can't hardly talk. And he's like, and he was a good friends with Tyler, one of the boys that got killed. And, like, he's like, "Do you want to buy any bars?" And I'm like, "Man, yeah, I'll take a couple. But, like, you really, like, you need to get out of here, man." Like, I couldn't even, it was evident the lifestyle that I was living and the people that I was, in with. But I don't know how he drove with. I mean, it was completely smashed.
And did you get into benzos at that point?
I had been dabbling. Not at that point had I gotten really into them. I was really into, like, methadone and oxys at this point.
How do you get into methadone?
I knew a guy that had pills, sold pills, and, like, knew a couple of guys that sold pills. And, they lasted forever, and they were pretty cheap.
Did they get you really high, the methadone pills?
Yeah.
So you're fucking with oxys, and then somebody has methadone pills, and you don't snort them, though.
No, I just take them.
Do you think you could snort methadone pills?
I'm sure I've done it. I seen a dude shoot them.
Yeah, I've heard about shooting methadone, but it's crazy because you get this liquid, you shoot
These were pills,
liquid all
though.
the time, and you don't even think about shooting the methadone because I guess it's so much, so much volume of it.
Yeah,
It'd be like a ton of fucking.
But I get these wafers, the 40 milligram wafers, and have those around and break off a piece. And one time I got pulled over and had to eat the whole damn thing. Man. But around this time, I'm working.
It's funny in all the years of doing Dopey, I don't think I've ever heard of a lot of recreational methadone use.
Yeah. I did a bunch of them. Like, there was a dude, like this guy, he was dying from. He had cirrhosis of the liver, and like he was a weird character, and like I didn't like going there. It was one of the managers at Ruby Tuesday's husband. And like if you went, dude, it was just one of those things where it's gonna take 45 minutes just sitting there talking to the guy before you get your pills. And
that's part of the business deal.
It's part of the deal, So I'd started smoking meth at this time. So there was like a period where I started smoking meth, and I was at my friend Trisha's house, and they were like passing around a light bulb.
Did you smoke out of the light bulb?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Did you remember the first time you did meth?
Yeah, this is it. This is the first time I did meth.
So how does it work with the light bulb? They break the light bulb?
Yeah. So like you take some pliers and you twist the curly part off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like the old, you can't even hardly get light bulbs like this anymore, I don't think. And then you just take something and you crack it. And then you take a little salt to put in there. The salt absorbs any kind of chemicals that were in there. Shake it around. Rinse it out, dry it off, and there you go.
The salt absorbs any chemical that was in the light bulb.
Yeah. Like they put a gas in there.
Who figures this stuff out? Tweakers.
Yeah, tweakers, man. Well,
Some
like if you ever hit it
science
without putting the salt in there, you're like, oh shit, this is fucking terrible.
So the salt neutralizes the chemistry of the light bulb, and then let's say you have this light bulb, you've taken off the thing, you've salted it up, then you put the meth in it, you burn the bottom of the light bulb, and you just suck it out
with a straw. Yeah, you put a straw down in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
With a straw. See, that seems like a real like high style way to do drugs, to hold a light bulb in a straw.
Yeah, well, it's pretty hillbilly, honestly.
I know, but I feel like if they could do some kind of like, I mean, first of all, a light bulb full of smoke is a really cool image.
Yeah.
And then to do drugs with a straw that you suck the smoke out of the light bulb.
Yeah.
I remember we used to smoke hash out of jars. We would take the hash and put it on a pin and light the thing and put it in the jar so the smoke fills the jar, and then you kind of sip the smoke out. But we never had a straw. I like that straw.
Yeah. And it worked. It wasn't the best method of smoking meth, but for a bunch of kids, at 18 years old, it was good. It was good.
And where's your head at with the meth? Are you like, I fucking love this?
Fucking love this, dude. Like I could play guitar for hours. You know what I mean, dude? Like I don't have to sleep. Things are good. Like I'm active. I'm doing things. I'm motivated. I loved meth.
That was what I just read about Dwayne Allman. Someone was like, out of nowhere he started playing slide, and the guy's like, how did you figure out how to play slide? And he's like, oh, I just smoked a ton of meth and played for 100,000 hours until I sounded good. Like fucking crazy.
That is wild, dude. Like
I wish like my drug career had done something like that.
Right? Like I would try to write songs and then look at it the next day and just be like, oof, this is terrible.
Well, you did win 2 of the Dopey songwriting contests, so it's a prime. Maybe it was a primer. All right, so you're at Ruby Tuesdays, smoking meth out of the light bulb, taking meth, eating methadone, not snorting it or shooting it, eating the wafer straight up.
Yeah.
No tang or nothing. No. Okay.
No.
And so what happens then?
Well, once Alex and Tyler died, man, like I really
that must have fucked you up badly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I got a phone call and it was like, hey, my mom's like, John Ashley killed Alex and Tyler. And I'm like, fuck, dude. because like I knew everybody
And
involved.
how well did you know John Ashley?
I mean, I used to spend the night at his house when we were kids. Like we used to swim in his swimming pool. I knew him pretty well.
Did you have a?
I was older than him.
Did you have a bad feeling about him?
He was always a piece of shit, dude. Like he was just always a bad kid.
And he's in prison still?
Oh yeah, he got 2 life terms, and they. I had an ex-girlfriend, and she worked at the prison that he was at, and like he got turned out. You know what I mean? Like
why?
Probably so he could get drugs.
Oh, because he okay.
But he was like all, hey, he's living his best life, and that's.
I feel bad for John Ashley.
Yeah, he's very sick.
I feel like, oh man, it's like to be a kid and to kill 2 kids. His life is over. I mean, look at us. We're adults and stuff, and we've gotten to correct ourselves. And it's like that dude Hanif on the show who killed the guy, and he wound up, doing 20 years in prison. And now he was at the film festival, and now he like does a lot of good.
Yeah, John Ashley is just doing sexual favors for probably drugs. I don't know what drugs, but
well, we have to circle back and find out how John Ashley's doing one day.
Yeah.
So what happens to you?
So this is where I meet my my ex-wife, now ex-wife, but she was a waitress at Ruby Tuesdays, and she just kind of came up and gave me her number. I had just moved back in with my parents. Like I had moved out with a group of people, and that went south because of the girl that I was with. But I guess I had cheated on this girl, like doing coke with this other girl who was like one of our roommates' friends that was just kind of like hanging out, and we had got some coke and ended up fucking. And one of my friends found out about it, who told our other friend, who told his girlfriend, who told my girlfriend at the time, and so I got kicked out. And about that time, I meet my ex-wife, and when I got kicked out of that house, the drug stuff kind of like leveled out. Like I was still doing this and that, but like,
was that house a crazy drug house?
It was for us, you know what I mean? It was a lot of smoking weed and Oxycontins, but I still had not gotten a habit yet. I was doing them pretty regular, and still going on. So I get married, and
How old were you?
I was 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very young to get married.
Very.
Why'd you decide to get married at 21?
Well, she got pregnant.
So she got pregnant first.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, we should get married.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's pretty much it. And I'm dumb. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's not dumb. I mean, that's an explanation, though.
It is.
You knocked her up, and you were like, fuck, we're going to have a kid. I should marry this girl.
Yeah. Yep. And so...
I'm sure you were a great husband.
No, obviously, like there was a lot of lying and a lot of like behind the back drug use. She was not any kind of a drug addict or an alcoholic. You know what I mean? She was a normal person.
Did she know how bad you were?
No, she knew I smoked weed, and like I had told her that I was stopped smoking weed, but the pills continued. And then one day when I'm working at Ruby Tuesdays, I get the flu, and I have to go to I drove myself to the emergency room in the middle of the night because I had the flu and I was so dehydrated. And the next day I get back, and Ruby Tuesdays is calling me in to work. They're like, you really need to come in. We need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay. I've been there a couple years at this point. And so I go in, and they called me in to fire me.
I had a feeling.
Because this waitress, Mickey Farmer, I don't even care. Mickey Farmer, she's on my 4th step.
Clearly you've made peace with this.
I was going to get an Oxycontin, and I was like, do you want one? And she's like, yeah, I didn't charge her anything extra. I just brought it back. Well, she does it, gets fucked up, wrecks her car, leaves the scene, and then goes back to Ruby Tuesdays, and the cops show up, and she just like rats me out immediately, which like, of course she does, right? And so they call me into work, and they fire me for for selling drugs.
giving OxyContin to Mickey, whatever.
All I had to do was lie. Like, all I had to do was like, no, I didn't do it.
I don't think they would have
Probably
believed
not.
you.
I don't know.
Why would they have
loved me.
believed you?
Because they loved me. I don't know.
Right. And what did you do instead? You were just like, fuck, and you left.
Yeah, and I had to go explain to my wife why I got fired from,
Explain to me what it's like to be 21, be married, have a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And like a growing dependency on oxys in general.
Yeah. Man, I'm such like a positive person that like
I know you do. You have toxic positivity disorder.
Yes.
TPD. I just named it. You really do.
Yeah. And so like even in my drug addiction, I was like, this is going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like trying to make the best of it. And like at this point, like I was playing in bands too. We kind of glazed over that, but like I was playing in bands and like was going to bars and I would drink at the shows and whatnot. And then that's when the Xanax kind of took off and heavy pill use. And I used to go to this woman's house. She worked at a pharmacy and she would just like hand me like a bunch of Xanaxes and a bunch of Lortabs and just be like, go sell them. You know what I mean? And like I would pocket these and then go sell them, you know what I mean? And bring her back to money. She never counted them or anything. But yeah, I mean, it's scary. Like, like I got this kid on the way. I'm obviously now, I've got to figure out how to come off of these OxyContins, which like wasn't as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to be in withdrawal, but I wasn't. There was like a little bit of like nerves or whatever, you know what I mean? Anxiety. But, I ended up for work, my cousin, Corey, he's definitely one of us. He was like bad crackhead, and like was kind of in and out. And at this point, he had come to live with my grandmother. And Corey was a fucking like he could build anything. You know what I mean? He was just a master craftsman. He could remodel houses, do roofs, siding, whatever you name it. This dude could do it. And so we decided that we're going to start a business, like a remodeling business. And it was going
like we can smoke crack and remodel.
Well, I had smoked crack a couple of times just on accident. Like I never bought crack on purpose. I thought I was getting coke and it was crack. And like, what are you going to do? You smoke it. But I wasn't a huge crack person. You know what I mean?
What was your young wife going through at this point, though? She's pregnant. You get fired. Like, how is she dealing with it?
She had to be scared to death, right? But
yes.
like, you know what I mean? But we were in love, and we had this baby on the way, and we're gonna, make the best of it. And I had kind of sobered up a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm probably still sneaking, smoking weed and whatnot, and like, but I was gonna keep it cool. And then me and Corey started working together, and I'm like, I can get these OxyContins. You know what I mean? Like, and so me and him started doing 80s like every single day. And
while she's pregnant.
Yeah, while she's pregnant.
Well, I had the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I had the exact same experience. Only I was 14 years older than you. I was 35 and doing the exact same thing. And it's I only keep asking about that because it's just such the opposite. For me, it was just the opposite of what I was supposed to be doing at that point.
Yeah.
You have this person who's counting on you and this baby who's coming that's totally counting on you. And you're like, I was totally checked out. I mean, I was smoking weed publicly. I was taking Xanax publicly because I had figured out how to get it prescribed. And then Todd started bringing heroin over. And I started doing heroin and then you're just doing it. I was just, you know what I mean? Once it's there, I'm doing it. And it sounds to me like Corey is kind of that version of your story.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. And like, so, except I was the one that was like, he's like going to meetings and like trying to be better. And I'm like, I can get OxyContins. You want to, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have a problem.
And you're a kid though. You're 21 years old.
He didn't have a problem. He's probably 30. You know what I mean?
At that point.
He's probably in his early 30s.
So you totally wrecked poor Corey's life.
Poor Corey, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe he was going to get it, but he didn't.
That's what we tell ourselves.
I don't know.
So then what happened?
So like, man, we're doing Oxycontins like every day, and like now the habit is on, dude. So like
Sniffing them?
Oh yeah, just sniffing them. I had tried shooting them one time, but like I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never shot one, and I didn't have anybody to show me how. So I just snorted them, and we were doing 1 or 2 a day for like a while, and then I caught a habit, and then I had to have something. You know what I mean? So we would go back and forth between doing Oxycontins and methadone. We had, at this time, man, they were prescribing everything. Like we had guys, they would get 500 methadones a month. And so,
why was somebody being prescribed that much methadone?
Pill mills, man.
Right.
You go into the doctor and you just pay cash and they give you a prescription.
See, I never hear about methadone out of the pill mills either. And the pill mills are really big down south, right?
Oh, yeah. Huge. Everybody's doing it. You know what I mean?
So is this all before your daughter's born?
This is before and around the time. Yeah. So, and like even after she was born, like the business obviously wasn't going to last. Like, you know what I mean? We couldn't get anything done being dope sick, and we end up like getting fronted a bunch of pills. We would this dude Larry was a trip, man. Like he was one of those you'd have to go and hang out with for a minute too. But he always had the pills. I don't know where he got them from. I think he got them from his uncle or something. But he ended up getting hooked on them too, and he was constantly sick. And I wonder, shout out to Larry, because I don't know what the hell happened to him.
So who's Larry?
Larry's just some drug dealer that like some of my other friends introduced me to. This black kid, young dude, and like doesn't really have a job, doesn't really do anything, just has an apartment and sells pills. I don't really know what he did. Like, he just sold pills as far as I know. And he ends up getting hooked on them too. And, things were okay, but business starts going downhill. And
was the business ever doing well?
It did okay. We stayed busy. You know what I mean?
What kind of stuff were you guys doing?
Remodeling, siding, painting.
Seems like a great business.
It was okay, but like...
Crackhead Oxy remodelers.
Yep. Corey Bin Construction.
But it sounds like do you think it would have taken off had you guys not been total drug addicts?
Yeah, probably so. Because we're like in the people's houses, like going through their fucking medicine cabinets and shit. It's like, it's not good.
Can you think of any stories where you found anything good on the Corbin job?
Nah, we never found anything good. You know what I mean? Like, we'd always just go get fronted from Larry and end up owing him like $300 a week. So
what happened?
I think like we just like could no longer sustain our addiction. I think Corey went and got on Suboxone, and I think I did too. And I told my wife at the time that it was like, because Suboxone was pretty new at the time. This was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And I went and got him, and I think I told her that this was like a pain. I'd been complaining about my back pain, you know what I mean? And so like the doctor's going to put me on this pain medication for people that have problems with addiction. And just kind of...
So she knew you had a problem with addiction then?
Yeah, because once I got fired from Ruby Tuesdays... Yeah, there was obviously an issue with pills and painkillers. And I kind of came clean at that time.
And you were like, I'm going to go on Suboxone because I'm in pain and it could help me with my addiction.
Yeah.
Was recovery anywhere on the horizon at that point?
No. I had become like a pretty hardcore atheist by the time I was like 14. Like a militant atheist, and I knew that recovery. I don't know, man. It wasn't even on the. I knew my cousin went to meetings, and that was good. But I knew that there was God involved in that, and so like that shit's not going to work for me.
I hear you. So you get on Suboxone. Your daughter had to have been born at that point.
Yep.
And how's it going in your family?
It was good. My
This is toxic positivity from Ben. He's strung out on every drug. There's a baby. Are you making money?
Yeah. So at that point, like once that all went to shit, dude, I started doing electrical work. And,
Okay.
Yeah, and like I just kind of found a job doing electrical work by accident.
How'd you find that?
Well, my buddy Gary, he was working for this company called Atkins Electric, and I was like trying to get him to give me a number to get hired on or whatever, and he's like, just call him. And so I looked up Atkins Electric in the phone book, you know what I mean? And I just called the wrong number, and the guy answered, and he's like, yeah, I just had a guy quit. Show up tomorrow. And like that was it. I started working. It was the wrong company.
And I mean, you still do electrical work now. Mm-hmm. You didn't destroy your electrical career?
No, I don't know. I was really good at it. And like I was reliable when I was on Suboxone and not really doing nothing else, you know what I mean? Like so like I held it together pretty good. I did, and I think you'll like this story, but somewhere around this time I was like on Xanax and I got my dick pierced.
Why did you do that?
I had watched this documentary called Modify, and like it was about body modifications, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a piercing, and I was gonna get my nipples pierced, but I was afraid it would hurt, so I got my dick pierced instead.
And how much did that hurt?
You know, it's the healing process that like.
Oh my fuck! I can't even sit still with this notion. So you go to the piercing. What do they call that? St. Andrew?
Prince
St.
Albert.
Thomas? Prince Albert.
Yeah.
So you go to the pier, and had you had anything else pierced?
I'd never had a piercing before.
And what made you want to pierce your penis?
I don't know. It seemed like I didn't know anybody else that had one.
How do you know if you? I
feel like
you don't
they would have
know.
Told me.
Well, I've known you for years, and I didn't know this about you.
Yeah.
So hold up. What? And you're on subs. Are you smoking weed still?
Oh yeah.
So what just makes you decide that this is a good idea?
Well, like I said, I watched that documentary, and then I was just like, I'm gonna do this, and like it was like,
what's the upside to piercing your penis? It goes through the pee hole.
Yeah. Like the bottom of the dick and up through the urethra, and it's like
God help me.
Yeah.
God help Jesus Christ, help me.
This is like right at the end. This is well, we'll get there, but like this is like right before my marriage ended.
Yeah, I'm sure that didn't help. So when you come home, and you're like, honey.
She went with me. She was with me, and like,
what did she say about it?
You know what? She was very supportive. She was just like,
is she like a weirdo?
No, not at all. No. She's a very normal person, really.
Dopey Nation, do you know anybody that got your penis pierced? If you are a young wife and your young husband decides he's going to get the Prince Albert, are you supportive? And why was she supportive? You're like, I think I'm going to get my dick pierced. And she's like, I think that's fantastic.
I think she had checked out of the marriage by this point, really.
She was like, okay, Ben.
Yeah, do what you want, you dumbass. You know what I mean?
So why did she go with you?
It was my birthday.
And she paid for it. Paid for it?
I'm pretty sure I paid for it. It was like $60. And
right.
Your dick has never been so small as when like a tattooed man named Terry is coming at it with a fucking needle.
Oh my fucking Jesus Christ.
So they pierce it. They pierce it at a 12 gauge, and I went with a 10 gauge. So they had to like pierce it, stretch it, and then put the jewelry in.
And this man is just dealing with your penis.
Yeah, he's just,
you know who would love this story is Ray.
I know.
Did you ever tell Ray this story?
I don't think I've ever told Ray. I need to.
Because you know Ray has some weird experience with pierced cocks.
For sure.
So the earring it's a cock ring. It's a bar.
When I got it done, yes, it was a bar, but like that kept like slipping back through. And
Jesus, fucking Christ!
But now it's like a solid hoop with a little bead on it.
Did you wait now? Currently,
yeah.
You kept it?
Yeah, I still have it. Yeah.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
How do you live with this thing?
Well, you got to sit down to pee, but like, other than that,
how much of this is true?
100%.
So you still have the penis pierced now.
Uh-huh.
When you have sex, does it ever impede progress?
No, it's actually it intensifies it. The girls, I've never had any complaints about it.
The women like the pierced.
They
penis.
like it. Yeah.
And how old are you?
I am 42.
How long have you had this thing in your
20
penis?
years. 20 years, yeah.
It's going to be the 20-year anniversary coming up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, this is two stories that we never before on Dopey. The penis, and why is your pierced penis not a bigger legend in Dopey Zoom?
Because there's more to come. Like there's more. There's
All
more.
right, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
How come Liz Ann's butt plug and the professors, whatever, no one's ever talking about Prince Albert Croxton?
It happens, but like not as much as like. Yeah, we'll get there. They're
just you got to take over now, Ben. I don't know what to do anymore.
The piss drinking, where they like.
Where did and hold on?
This is way further on down the road.
All right, so you get your penis pierced with the bar, and your wife, is that when she's like, I enjoy fucking you with the enhanced modified dick, but I don't want to be with you anymore?
After that.
So she
like,
wasn't that impressed.
A month-long healing process.
She wasn't that impressed with
this. She had already
thing.
checked out. She ended up like falling in love with a friend of mine.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's where this is headed. So like I get my dick pierced, and like
I bet you your friend didn't have his dick pierced.
He did not. He did not. No. But like I this is a kid that I'd known.
Ben, I want after this interview's over, I want you to take that thing out and be done with this.
Okay, all right.
Back to the story.
I mean, like I've had it for this long, you know.
No, we're going to talk about this after the interview.
All right. So anyway, this guy, his name's Jack, and like I've made amends with Jack, and we're good. Like we still talk. Me and the ex-wife do not talk, but me and Jack, we talk. Like I would go to this dude's house, like he would have parties out in the woods at his house, man. We'd have bonfires, dude. And one time I'm like, I've been drinking, and like I'm like pouring gas on the fire, right? And I'm pouring it, and like the more I drink, the longer the pours get. And then like the last time, it just like caught the end of the gas tank on fire, and I slung it, and I slung fire all over me. And so like I'm like,
well, hold on. You're drinking at the fire, pierced cock, and you decide.
This is way before that. This is when we were kids.
Why are you pouring gas on the fire?
To make the fire bigger. I don't know. Yeah.
This is why people in the North look down on people from the South.
That's fair.
That's not a nice thing to say.
I don't care.
But when you talk about pouring gas on a fire, I always thought that was just an expression. Well, I didn't know anybody actually did that.
Well, you know, kick it up. It's starting to die down a little. You know what I mean? You want to kick it back up. And
so you got fire all over yourself?
Yeah. I had to stop, drop, and roll. And then I was like kind of red. I was okay. Like it worked. But I burned down a tree in his woods.
If this happened before the penis piercing, what made you bring it up now?
Because Jack, this was at his house, and it's a good story. So, yeah. So Jack, like I had known him for years. You know what I mean? He would roll around and like, hey, he always had bongs and stuff. He's a weirdo, really, but like I love him.
Is he still with your ex?
Yeah, they're married and like they have a kid together. Yeah, they're still.
And you're okay with Jack, but not your ex?
No, I'm fine with my ex. She doesn't like me.
You've been separated from her for years and years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you make amends to her?
Yeah, I've tried. You know what I mean? Like I've offered to make amends, and she has so far shut me down. But you know, I'll keep trying. Maybe she'll be ready.
Why? How did you harm her?
Well, you know, I was not a good dad for many years after we split up. You know what I mean? Like
But when you split up, like she fell in love with Jack. Does she know how bad you are?
I think she fell in love with Jack. Now she'd never admit to this, but like she left me for him. Like, they had been hanging out, and like I had found out about it, and you know, I was not cool with it. I tried to be cool. You know what I mean? And like,
how could you be cool with it?
Well, I tried to think it was nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I trusted her, and I trusted him. But that was my mistake. I was a kid. You know what I mean?
You were a kid. You're saying that you just thought they were chill, like friends or something.
Friends. Yeah. But like going to get lunch together, you know what I mean? That's not cool. You know, and I told her that. When I found out about that, I was like, you know, that makes me uncomfortable. And you know. And then,
how did you find out?
I'm sure she told me that she had been to lunch with Jack.
No. How did you find out that she cheated on you with Jack?
Well, that's the thing is like I don't know while we were together if she ever did or not. Like, to be clear, like,
okay,
there's no hardcore evidence, but she was spending a lot of time with him.
So you didn't know, but how did she tell you? How did she end the marriage?
You know, it's just we had just moved into this new apartment and we'd been there like a month or something. She just said that she didn't want to do this anymore, and like, I had gotten the dick piercing, and like a month later, she just told me that she was done, and I don't really remember exactly what the catalyst was. I may have like forced her into like telling me what was going on with her and Jack, and then like that was it. I don't remember exactly what.
I think the dick ring was the catalyst.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
I think that when your partner gets that notion that they're going to pierce their penis without, I mean, I feel like that could be a demarcation line where you guys are not on the same page.
Yeah.
Right. So, but still, to be 21 with a baby and a burgeoning drug habit is a very scary place to be in general.
We had just gotten, like, that summer for her birthday, like, matching tattoos.
What were they?
You know the song Saw Red?
Yeah.
Sublime? Every day I love her just a little bit more. And she got Every Day I love him just a little bit more. And, like, I don't like to admit that out loud.
Where is it? On your penis?
Mine's, like, right here.
Okay. Where's hers?
Like, right on her stomach. Like, right here.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So she leaves, and does your drug addiction, like, explode?
Oof. So I met
That's the gas on the fire of the drug addiction?
That's the igniter right there, man. Because, like, I moved back in with my parents. We're doing, like...
I'm sure they're thrilled with that. Did you show them your piercing or no?
I'm sure I told them about it. They were never very happy about it.
I don't know if I can ever... I don't know if I'll ever be able to look at you the same, Ben.
Well,
but keep going.
Here we go.
You knew I would have a reaction.
Yeah, I had to tell you.
Yes.
It was like, but anyway, so yeah, we that's what fuels me. I end up meeting up with that Erin chick that I knew from Outback, and like she's a full blown heroin addict at this point.
Did you know that?
Yeah. I'd heard rumors of it. You know what I mean?
And where does your ex go with the baby?
She moved back in with her. No, she moved back into our original house, which was like this old trailer on her parents' property. So I'm like, full tilt, like start hanging out with Erin. And like when I don't have the kids, because I've got them a week and she's got them a week, right? And I'm at my parents' house and like we're trying to make everything kind of work. But like, I just go off the deep end, man.
Wait, was there more than one kid?
Okay, so I adopted her child, who was 1 year old when I met her. So like, I adopted her fully. So she's my oldest daughter, and then so it's Riley and Marley. Marley's my youngest, or at that time.
It's like, can you imagine like somebody less equipped to adopt a 1 year old at that point? Holy cow.
I was like, are you sure about this? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's fucking
But she
nuts.
never had a dad, you know what I mean? And like, I wasn't much better, but I was always very loving. You know what I mean? Like I may not have been present, but like my kids knew that I loved them.
And I know how present you are now. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So what happens? You know, you move back in with your parents and you start hanging out with the heroin addict and you just immediately start doing heroin?
Yeah. We started shooting heroin, started shooting Dilaudid, shooting coke. Because Dilaudid were pretty popular around here. Like, there for a little while, the K4s. And this Brittany Ross, she's the first person that ever got them for me. She was on intervention. You can go look her up, Brittany. And then I had another buddy that I knew was on intervention too. There was a lot of signs, but So
signs of what?
that like addiction was like an issue in my life. You know what I mean? Like here I'm hanging out.
Well, you're fucking strung out on 3 drugs. You know, it's serious business.
We're shooting coke. We're shooting heroin. I remember one time, Aaron, like we go down to Hooper City in Birmingham. It's hood, man. Like, and we get this heroin, dude, and she shoots it, and she just goes out like instantly, dude. And I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? This is the first time it ever happened that I was around somebody that went out. And I'm like driving around, I'm like trying to splash her, trying to wake her up, and like I go down, I tried to shoot her up with some coke to wake her up. And eventually she just kind of came to, but I was like down by the emergency room in Birmingham just in case, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to let her die, but like I'm doing mouth to mouth. She's lips are blue. And
she was close to death.
Yeah. And then it's like she woke up and she's like, let's go get some coke. And I'm like, okay.
And that's Aaron?
That's Aaron, yeah. Aaron.
How is she now?
She died. Methadone and Xanax, actually.
Wow, we had just talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So were you dating her?
Yeah. Well, not at that time, right? So I dated her before. That's the girl I was living with that kicked me out. But she was a very she was probably a lesbian when I met her. You know what I mean? She was very masculine. You know what I mean? But by this time, she was a full blown like just lesbian. Like I was the only dude she'd ever been with. But she was good people, you know? She was so fucking funny, man. God, she was funny.
When did she die?
She died, it's been 10 years or more probably.
Were you around when she died, or you just heard about it?
No, I was out. I had just like kind of gotten out of it when I found out she died.
You had gotten out of using?
Like, you know what I mean? Like that. But she taught me how to shoplift. You know what I mean?
What did she teach you?
Well, she was just like we would go in and she'd be like, here, steal this, and like we'll return it or whatever and get a gift card. And I had seen and that worked. You know what I mean? You can do that a few times without on an ID. You can get a few returns and a gift card. But I had seen that movie, Dope, Sick, Love. It's like a documentary on HBO. It's pretty old, and it's like just followed these junkies around New York, and like. And
I can't believe I've never seen it.
Yeah, Dope, Sick, Love. But on there, they had like a receipt, and they were going in there and they were stealing the stuff off the receipts and returning them. And so like I started walking around the parking lot of Walmart, and we just started picking up receipts and I was like, Aaron, I've got an idea. You know what I mean? Like,
you got the idea from Dope, Sick, Love.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing how these movies.
And I had seen it years ago. But it just dawned on me, like, that had always stuck out. And I was like, well, for shoplifting, let's fucking do this, you know? And so we just started, like, going to different Walmarts and stealing stuff, picking up receipts and stealing them. And it was a lot easier back then to do it. But we would, like, and sometimes we would get, like, if they had stuff that was, like, not behind the locked thing or didn't have the buzzer things on it, like Wii remotes. This is back when Wii was real popular. We would take the controller. She would grab them. The guy would be following her. The loss prevention guy would be following her, and she'd drop them off on an aisle. We knew that no cameras were on, and then like he would just continue on, and I'm like standing over there just watching, and he just keeps following her. And so I go over there and grab the controllers, and then we take them and sell them. GameStop said we're not taking any more Wii controllers. We had sold
because you sold them so many.
Yeah.
It's like Drugstore Cowboy. How did you know the camera didn't work in that aisle?
Well, there's just there's always a spot. You know what I mean? This was like the baby aisle. Like, and you learn your spots.
And how much stealing were you guys doing?
Oh, all day, every day, like a lot. Yeah.
And take us. So then, how does it end with Aaron?
I had quit my job. I had come to the end. Like, I was doing electrical work for the same company I'd started with, right? And like we're running all these. I got to where I couldn't perform anymore because I was either so sick, or like I had taken a bunch of little rolls of wire, and like returned them to a Lowe's. They didn't come from Lowe's, but I returned them to Lowe's, and like I ended up getting twice as much money back as I should have, like for whatever reason. When so like I had like a $600 gift card that I went and sold, and so like the end was coming with this job, and so like I finally just I was dope sick, I'm sure, and like I came and I told my sister that I'm like, you know, I'm struggling, and like I gotta quit, you know, and that may have been the first.
You gotta quit work or quit drugs?
Quit drugs. But I didn't know how, you know, and I think I went to, actually, I think I got caught stealing, as a matter of fact, and then like I went to jail. My dad bailed me out, and then I went to my first detox, and completed it. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't complete many detoxes. But I knew I was not done. By the time that was over, like I was gonna go back out and get high. And I did. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was.
That's like the next iteration of your drug using, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's where it's like, I'm not seeing these kids really. Fucking, I'm not really working. I'm fucking stealing and shooting heroin.
Mm-hmm. And so. I get caught, you know, I think I returned a gallon of milk, like fraudulent return is what they called it. And so it's just a misdemeanor. And I was supposed to be going to this job. I didn't have any gas. That's why I did it, really, was to get gas so I could go to this side job that I was working on. And I ended up just taking that dude's money, really. Like, I never showed up on that job, and I don't even think I went and got my tools. So like he kept.
What did he give you the money for?
To get the material.
Right.
Yeah.
Those no good junkies always take the material money.
Yeah. Damn sure do, man.
And then it's like you can't work after that because everybody knows that you stole the fucking materials money.
Well, you know, like I was still just running, you know, and I went to detox. I think I went to 2 detoxes, and I ended up, at this point, I'd been hanging out at my buddy's bar a lot. Like, my buddy's mom owned a karaoke bar. And, like, it was kind of weird because, like, Jack took my wife, but I took his bar. Like, he hung out at that bar before I did. And so, like, when he started dating my ex-wife, I started hanging out at the bar and, like, working at the bar and doing the karaoke. And I think I got on the methadone clinic at that point. And so I'm going, I would drink all night at the bar, and then I would just drive to the methadone clinic and sleep in the parking lot and be the first in line.
Right.
And that kind of, that's a whole thing, man. Like
what do you mean?
Like people would get there 2 hours early to have the first spot in line. And then here comes my drunk ass pulling up, and I've been there all fucking night. And now I'm the first in line. They did not like that shit.
I don't remember. I remember just getting to methadone clinics early. Well, everybody being outside selling drugs.
I think I was still working when I started it. And yes, they were selling drugs, selling pee, all that. You know what I mean?
When do you start drinking urine? And why?
Years later. But, so I'm working at the bar. Shit's like no good. You know what I mean? Like I can't even like get myself to the methadone clinic anymore. I only got on I was like on 30 milligrams because I knew it wasn't going to last. And I managed to like go to detox again. And I completed it, and it wasn't bad. And I came back and I started going to a 12-step fellowship, you know what I mean? Specifically for drugs. And were
you like, I want to stop, or was somebody like, you need to fucking do this?
Yeah, like I had a buddy, my buddy Cody, that I used to do the coke with. He was going to meetings, and like I started going with him, and there was a great fellowship, and like, you know what I mean? Like it was good. Like it was good to have like sober people to hang out with, and you know, it lasted for a little bit, like a month or two, maybe 3 months, and then I started drinking at the bar. You know, and then I started smoking weed again. And then I got back on Suboxone. I was working at the bar, at the karaoke bar.
At Jack's old bar.
At Jack's old hangout. Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, man.
Do you sing a lot of karaoke there?
I loved karaoke. Yeah.
That was your other addiction?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I was there, you know what I mean? And I worked there, and I was like the KJ. So, like, I was, you know, the karaoke jockey. And then I went into bartending.
You were the karaoke jockey?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I had a lot of fun. Met a lot of cute girls, you know what I mean? And I met the mother of my youngest there. So that was a fun time, man. But I ended up, man, I started talking to her, and like I got out of I was going to that fellowship and kind of got out of that and was drinking and smoking weed, and then like at some point I was like, I want to try to make meth.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Breaking Bad had just come out, you know what I mean, or had been out.
You were like, how hard could it be?
Yeah, I wanted to see how hard it was to get all the fucking ingredients together, and I was doing electrical work again at this time, and I gathered all the ingredients pretty quickly.
What does it take?
You know, you got to have Coleman's. You got to have like a ice pack that, like, you know, a chemical ice pack. You got to have some lithium batteries, some Sudafed, and some sulfuric acid.
Do you think your background as a carpenter electrician came in handy for your meth production?
Well, yeah, I never.
Because you're listing all these things, and I'm like, what the fuck do you do? What do you do with that stuff? Like, how do you do it?
You know, it helps to have somebody that knows what they're doing, right? But this is like shake and bake, they called it. Like ice was like, had disappeared around here. Like, for whatever reason, everybody's making. So if you hear about these like rolling meth labs and whatnot, it was just shake and bake. It's a fucking 2-liter bottle and some, like, you know, household ingredients.
You throw them all in the bottle and you shake it?
Yeah, you got to shake it to get it started, and then like.
How do you get the shit out of the batteries?
You peel them with a pair of pliers.
Crazy.
Yeah,
and there's liquid in there?
No. It's just it's like a metal sheet of paper that's just wrapped around.
Okay.
And like you got to do it pretty quick though, because it starts to degrade and it's flammable as fuck. You know, if it gets moisture on it, it'll ignite.
Wow.
Well, I had this guy that I worked with, and like he was like really good. Like sometimes I would just give him pills, and he would shake a bottle and like give me some of the dope. And yeah, so he was like telling me, but what I didn't know was that he was actually fucking me up, because he would always say, put a drop of water in it to get it to start. That drop of water is what ruined the whole fucking bat. It would like make it explode, basically.
Why would he do that though?
So he could keep making it for me. Like I would keep using him. You know, I get it. But I remember one night I'm with this girl that I'm living with in her apartment, and like I'm like, let's shake a bottle, you know what I mean? And I did it, and I put that drop of water in it, and like as soon as I did, it starts and just blew up in the fucking bathtub. Smoke is everywhere. The smoke detectors are going off, and it's just like, oh fuck, dude, it's just white smoke all over the place. In this,
isn't it crazy that water makes it ignite? Like, how is that even the thing?
The lithium, I think. Like, but the Coleman's lighter fluid didn't do it.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So your meth making career is not that successful?
No, not at all. Like I made some later on with a buddy, but like, so anyway, this girl that I'm with, she gets pregnant, and we move back closer to my parents, and we're staying in this house, and right when we move in, like the power company fucks up our power bill, so I start stealing power, and we did that for a while. You know, man, like I'm still struggling smoking weed, and we're smoking weed together. She's not really into like other stuff, but we did a few things together, but not much. And so eventually things just get worse and worse, and like ice comes back on the scene, and like I find this hookup. Like it's really weird, man. Like I'm in Walmart, and I've got this pregnant girlfriend at home, and I'm in Walmart, and I see this dude, and he's got 2 twin little boys. Him and his wife are like shopping, and I talked to him for a minute, dude. And then I go home, and later on that night, my buddy's like, hey, I can get some ice. If you come over here, I'll get the dude over here. And I go over there, and it's that guy I had just ran into at Walmart.
Oh, my God. That's
so
crazy.
fucking weird.
Are you sure it was him?
100%. We had a whole conversation.
That's crazy.
He's in prison now for kidnapping, but Matt was his name.
How old were you at this point?
I was 30, 29, 30, something like that.
Was any part of you like, my girlfriend's pregnant, I have 2 other kids, none of you didn't have that anywhere in your head?
No. Because I was on Suboxone, and like I was buying it off the streets, and I had been buying Adderall off the streets, and now like, you know, I had found a good hookup on ice, and it was cheap, and you know those other meth heads gave us a bad name. You know what I mean? Those other tweakers, but like I handled it pretty well. I went to work every day, and but the relationship deteriorated, and I at some point just like got back on the needle. I was like, I'm going to shoot this, and if I'm going to shoot this, I'm going to shoot heroin too. And that's when I started doing goofballs. And
do they call them goofballs?
I had never heard the term goofball till Dopey.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate term. What did they call it?
I guess like a lot of people would call it speedballing.
Speedballing sounds way better than goofballing.
It does.
Yeah. I don't even know where. It's so funny because I don't know where I ever heard goofball from.
Yeah, I don't know either. I may have been Chris said it. I don't know.
It might have been Chris. That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you start once she. How does she leave?
Well, we moved out of that house and into my sister's house. We have the kid, and like it's just getting worse. She kept finding me with like a pipe in my lap, knotted out in the car. You know what I mean? Like she knew shit was going on, but she didn't know any other way out. This poor girl. You know what I mean? And like we move into my sister's house, and like things are just going off the rails, and I'm getting worse and worse. Eventually, she comes in. This is about the time fentanyl comes onto the scene because they were starting to mix it in. Because she came in and like found me passed out on the bathroom floor with a needle next to me, and so you know I'm begging her not to tell my parents. I'm gonna kick. Everything's good. Like just please don't say anything. And I lasted about 2 hours, and then I stole my buddy's motorcycle, went to the hood and scored, and I went to the gas station right next to it, and shot up, and the fucking paramedics rushed in on me. Next thing I know, like I'm coming to, like I didn't OD or anything. I just nodded out. Somebody called the paramedics. And so they come in, they bum rush me, and like I'm talking to them. They take my little kit with my needle and spoon, and I didn't have any other dope on me. And I have to call my parents to come get me because they're not gonna let me drive out of there. And as I'm standing there, the cop's like, "Do you have any warrants?" And I had a failure to appear in Birmingham, and so he took me to jail. And like my parents pull up like right as I'm getting in the back seat of the car, so they know some shit's going on. And at this point, I think the girlfriend is like packing up. She's gonna bug out for a little while, and my parents bail me out of jail.
She's pregnant, or she has the baby?
She's already. The baby's like a year old at this point. But I end up the next day. I end up like going and pawning my. I don't know. I had all kinds of musical equipment at this time for recording and stuff. And so, like, I go to the pawn shop, I pawn it, and I go back to that same bathroom stall that I was in the night before and got arrested. And I was there for, like, 5 hours. I just woke up, and it's, like, fucking almost dark outside. Things are getting real shitty. My family's looking for me. And my sister ends up coming to where I was in that gas station, and she followed me back on this piece of shit motorcycle that didn't have headlights or tail lights or anything. And like I'm almost to the house, and the fucking cops pull me over. And he's like, he's just like, "You can't ride the motorcycle," you know. And my sister's like, "Why aren't you going to arrest him? He's obviously high." And the cop gave me a ride home. And I didn't go to jail. I didn't go to jail a lot of times.
I'm sure.
I never got a felony. And then so I'm back at my sister's house. I'm living there by myself.
Did you sell a lot of drugs?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, so it's like you didn't sell a lot of drugs. You didn't steal on such a big level. Where would you get a felony from? Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like possession, I guess.
Yeah, possession. That's really like, because I got pulled over a lot and just like wouldn't let them search the car, and then they
whenever I got possession, they always turned it into a misdemeanor every time.
Yeah. Well,
So we're both lucky.
That.
It's probably white privilege.
It had something to do with it. So so I'm like basically squatting at my sister's house, stealing power there too. I stole power at a few houses that I lived at. About that time, let's see. Yeah.
So you have 3 children. Where's the mother of the third?
She's still living around there. Like, she's around.
You still see her?
No, I didn't see her much then. Every now and then I'll see her, like, if there's like a graduation for the kids or something, you know what I mean?
No, I mean then.
Then, yeah, that's when I would see her, as if like the kids had like some kind of school thing going on. I would see her. But mostly no. But
no, I mean the new one. If she leaves you, like, are you still seeing her around?
Yeah, it's like at my mom's or something, but never like, one-on-one. Like, we're not hanging out or anything like that.
Okay.
But I'm dope sick one night, dude, and like I got I got a shot, like a blood shot that had gotten clogged, and like it was full of dope, man. And I had put it up in my fucking ceiling.
Hold on, this is a what are you stashing away a blood shot for?
You never know. You never know.
But why not just keep the shot? Why put blood in it?
Well, it clogged. It clogged on me.
Right, but it's like if you draw up, I've had this happen a million times. If you draw up a fucking shot and it clogs up with blood, I was always like very worried about tell me what happens. Tell me what happens.
Well, I shoot it up and I'm still mostly sick, and like.
How long had it been sitting there?
A few days.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
It's bad. It's really bad. Like, I don't tell many people this story, but so I do the shot, man, and then like,
who would you tell?
I don't know, man.
Story too.
So my dad, like, I guess they couldn't get in touch with me. I don't know what happened, but basically my dad's looking for me. He comes over to the house. He's got the cops, and I'm like, I've got the dope. I've got some new dope. You know what I mean? So like, I'm trying to shoot it up.
Hold up. Let's say you draw up the blood shot. It clogs.
Yep.
And you think to yourself, I'm going to save this for later. How does it work later?
Usually I don't save them for later. You know what I mean? But like, this one just happened to be up there. You know what I mean? And so I got it out. I emptied it and freshened it up.
Okay. You emptied it. You broke the needle off.
Yeah. And I like emptied it out.
And the blood isn't all coagulated and gooey?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yes.
And, but I did it. So like a couple days later, I don't know, I've got some dope, and the cops are coming. Or my dad called the cops to come over there to the house with me, and I'm yelling at the cops.
Why does he call the cops?
I don't know. He's worried about me.
Yeah, I would be
he
too.
knows
I'm worried about you too, and you're years sober.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not even close to getting sober yet. That's the thing here. So, I'm yelling at the cops, please, like, you can't come in here. He has no authority to like let you in this house. And the cop's like, he's right. I can't come in if he says I can't come in. And I don't know. I did the dope and calmed down, and I agreed to go to another detox. And I go to a detox in southern Alabama, out in the middle of nowhere. And I end up with this sore on my foot, and like, just like, I got a fever. I'm getting sick, dude. I end up, the doctor there is like, he's got endocarditis.
From the blood shot.
From the blood shot. That's what I think, anyway. I mean, that seems to make sense. And so,
you just say, it's funny, doctor, because I had drawn up this shot and I hit it and then I needed to use it. Did you cook the blood shot?
Yeah, I probably heated it up a little bit with some fresh water.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So what's endocarditis like?
It sucks. It's like an infection around your heart, and I had MRSA, and it's an infectious disease. So like they send me to a hospital in Montgomery, Alabama, and like I hadn't had any cigarettes, I had no pain medicine, I had nothing, and I got pissed off because they were taking too long, and so like I stood up and I ripped out everything. I ripped out the IV. My dad's fucking pissed, and we head back to Birmingham and to UAB, and they treated me like a human, like, you know what I mean? They treated me very well, and I stayed on antibiotics for 2 weeks there. They gave me a PICC line, so I had like this, PICC line straight to my heart for antibiotics, and they sent me home, and they sent me home to with a home care nurse and antibiotics, and they don't send a lot of people home, but because my parents were with me, they were like, we'll let him go, you know what I mean? And then I started a relationship with the home care nurse, and we started talking about podcasts, as a matter of fact, because I had gotten into podcasts somewhere around there, and she was good. She was this poor girl. Like we started a relationship, and she had told me that like if I was ever going to do drugs again, to do them with her. And she had no idea what kind of a drug addict I was, you know what I mean? And she was diabetic.
Did she know? Had you stopped using at that point?
Well, yeah, only because I had to.
But you have the PICC line and everything.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the PICC line is for?
Man, isn't it? I can't even imagine a PICC line. Like, why do they give you the PICC line? It's because your blood can't take a shot if you don't put it right in. But it's like so much antibiotics that like you need an IV, but they can't just give you an IV at your house. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you have to do this. I had to do it like every few hours. I had to have this.
So that's why they do it. Mm-hmm. So she says, what podcast is she talking to you about?
Well, I was into true crime podcasts at the time, so we're talking about a lot of true crime podcasts.
Right.
And so I got another job once I got healed up and everything. This is like 2017. And me and my dad went to see the eclipse while I still had the PICC line, so that was cool.
What's the significance of that?
Well, we were always both into like astronomy and stuff like that.
No, I mean, what's the significance of having the PICC line for the eclipse?
Well, like, it's just like I got pictures of like us going to see the eclipse, and I've got this big bandage around my arm, and my poor
how
father,
concerned are your parents with your life?
Very. You know what I mean? Here I am, 33 years old, basically 3 kids, and like I'm coming to live with them again. And like at this point, there was no joint custody or whatever. The girls were staying with their mom the whole time, and I got to see my youngest every now and then. But it was bad.
Yeah,
really bad. So I'm working again, dude, and this job is like that they put me on. It required me to do meth. Like there was no way to do this job.
What was the job?
It was just like a school or something that had gone shitty, and the timeline was short, dude. And I ended up working like just all night long.
The only job that requires you to do meth is like the factory that takes apart clock radios in the middle of the night or something. Like what's the job that requires you to do meth?
Well, they needed a job done in 2 weeks that was going to take 6.
And you were like, the only way I can do this is and the PICC line's gone. Did you use the PICC line to shoot anything into your heart?
No. It's one of the greatest regrets of my life.
Yeah, I regret that a lot too. I don't know what I regret more, that or the pierced penis story. I'm kind of split on those two.
Yeah. So I start like seeing this nurse, right? And like she ends up like getting a divorce from her husband, and like I'm in one night we're just like, let's get some drugs, you know, and like she's got needles because she's diabetic. She's type 1
And she's
diabetic.
a nurse.
And she's a nurse, you know what I mean? So we get heroin, we get ice, and she had done ice before, but she drank, but like she wasn't really into anything when I met her, except maybe drinking a little bit. And yeah, dude, it went off. It was off and running again. Like I had gotten back into that same fellowship again at that time, but that was out the window.
Didn't take.
Didn't take. No sponsor, no nothing. You know what I mean? Same old, same old. And couldn't do it because of the God thing. And like even my cousin Chris had gotten sober at this point. He's like, "Hey man, you're gonna have to find some kind of spirituality." You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Nah, nope, can't do it." So this is where my buddy Brandon like comes back into play. Really, like I had known Brandon for years and years and years when we were kids, and like we had done ketamine together, and we had done all kinds of drugs together, but. Now he's back. He had gotten, he was in the military, and he was getting a check from them, and had an apartment. And he was selling acid, and so me and this chick got some acid. And this was like the first time I'd ever really done acid, and she had like her blood sugar dropped in the middle of it. And
The nurse.
The nurse, yeah, and so like she's completely. Decapacitated or whatever. Yeah. And like I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, and my brain is just fucking like so like I ended up thinking of, and like shoved some cookies down her throat, which is like the worst thing you can really do. But it worked, and like everything was good, and it was a good trip.
It's good for diabetes.
Yeah. And you know, I just slowly kind of went back to shooting up all the time, man. Like just constantly. And then she would kick me out, and I would go back to squatting in the house at my sister's house, and then I would move back in with her, and then it was just back and forth, you know, man. It's just that tumultuous drug addict relationship. Brandon ended up going to rehab and fell in love with a girl there, and came out, and so the three of us started hanging out, and we got into shoplifting again, like hot and heavy, like the receipt shopping. And I taught him how to do it, and I taught some other friends how to do it. And this is like my full-time job now, is just shoplifting all the time.
Right.
And like I would go into Walmart at my hometown, and they'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Benjamin," and I'd be like, "Not working today. I'm off duty. I just got to make some returns." You know what I mean?
Right.
And this was all over Birmingham, just hitting different Walmarts. And just, you know, scoring dope, just trying to get 60, 70, 80 bucks a day. And we actually hit a lick when, and I think the statute of limitations is up, so I can tell this story. But
What constitutes hitting a lick?
Just getting
like how much does it need to be a lick?
I don't know. You know, I think a few $100.
Someone put in the comments of some dopey thing, "Dave's never hit a lick," was the comment that but I don't think I have ever hit a lick.
You know what I mean?
So.
I think enough to like satisfy your drug addiction for a day. It's like, that's hitting a lick.
Would finding books in the garbage and selling them for $100 be hitting a lick?
All of them for $100? Yeah, dude, that's a small.
No, it was a $100 book.
Yeah.
That's a small lick.
That would do that. That's you know what I mean? Yeah.
So what was your hitting a lick?
Okay, so the nurse had this friend, right? And she would clean his house, and I stole the key to his apartment, and like me and Brandon go over there, and we open the door. We know he's out of town, like he's going out of town for work or whatever. And we go in, dude, and we start just looking around, and we find this bag of guns, dude. Like, just
wow, that's hitting a lick.
That's hitting a lick. So there's like all kinds of guns. There's like rifles, pistols. It's like a 1911. It's like really nice guns, and then like $3,500.
That's a good lick.
That's a good lick, dude. And so
Did you sell the guns?
Traded them. Yeah.
For what? For drugs?
For drugs, yeah. So we we go back out, we lock the door back, and then we kick the fucking door in. You know what I mean? So that he would know whoever went in there had a key. So we clear everything out, lock the door back, kick the door in, and then
that's misdirection.
Misdirection. So we go and shoot all the guns, because why not? You know what I mean? We go out in the country and we shoot all these guns. And so right after that, I trade all of it for a good bit of dope. Not enough, but a good bit. And I'm going to get on Suboxone the next day. My dad's going to take me to the Suboxone clinic. I'm going to get on Suboxone.
What does your dad know at that point?
He knows. You know what I mean?
And how sick and tired are you at that point?
Very. You know what I mean? It's just getting to be too much. But I'm still nowhere near getting sober at this point. So this is the night, we hang, me and Brandon and his girlfriend are hanging out all night. And we go, we're breaking into cars, trying to find some money. The girlfriend, who I'm not with at the time, the nurse, gives me $60. And we decide it's 4 a.m. We're going to go and just go down to the hood, the gas station at the hood, and tap shoulders and just be like, hey, you got any boy? You got any dope? And the first person we ask, he's like, yeah, meet me around back. And so
people say boy a lot there.
Oh yeah, it's all boy. Yeah.
Okay, they say boy.
Yeah, boy is that's dope. Heroin.
Here it's it's old timey slang, boy, but you never hear anybody use it.
Boy.
All right, keep going.
So we drive around to the back. It's 4 a.m. and we drive around to the back, and Brandon hands in the money, and he walks up to the window and he shoves a fucking pistol into the window. And at this point, he's got all our money. I don't know what the fuck is. You want this piece of shit fucking Buick that's been beat to hell? I'm driving. Brandon's girlfriend's in the front seat, and Brandon's in the back, and he's got this pistol, and it felt like forever, but I never took it out of drive. And so a few tense moments. No, not a word was even said, dude. And I just fucking gas it.
Hold on. You went to score drugs.
Yep. Just from a stranger.
Right, you give them the money.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes out a pistol.
Yep.
Well, he takes out the pistol because he wants to make it clear that he's not going to give you drugs.
Yeah, that was, yep.
That's
why. That
was
made abundantly clear real quick.
That's why,
and
right?
Here's the thing, man, is I don't even know if Brandon had given him the money.
Okay.
This is just I thought Brandon had given him the money. And then next thing I know, there's a fucking pistol in the window. And so I'm sitting here like this, I'm driving, and I just fucking gas it. And when I did, I don't even think he meant to, but he fired one shot and it went into my arm.
Oh my
right
God.
Here. And and so broke the bones and everything, and I'm driving, I get to the interstate, and we do a Chinese fire drill. We all jump out and run around the car, and I get in the back seat, and Brandon was a medic, and he's trying to cut my jacket off. I still have the jacket, bullet holes and all. And then I had to give him directions to the emergency room, with a bullet hole in my arm, and I get there, and there's doing surgery. They're going to have to do surgery. They finally shoot me up with some fentanyl for the pain, and it doesn't really even touch it.
Well,
and,
you're a total drug addict.
Yeah. And the guy's I found one vein. You have one vein left. If
Where
you
was
keep
that
going,
one?
Somewhere on my arm. I still have it. It's still good.
Right.
That one's
right.
But so surgery. I wake up. I'm crying, and every time I wake up in the hospital, the first person I see is my dad, my sweet father. He was the best. And my friends had called my mom, and they had woken him up, and she said, "Bill, your son's been shot. You better go check on him." She was pissed. She was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I get the surgeries, and I go to they're like, "We're going to send you to rehab." and my and they're also like, this isn't going to cost you anything because you're a victim of violent crime. And
that's good.
Yeah. My sister was so mad. The lawyer, she was like, he was committing a felony. Well, and she's like, so
you were still a victim of violent crime.
I was still a victim of violent crime, and so and they took my dick piercing out for the surgery in case they had to put in a catheter.
I endorse that move.
Yeah, I know you do. So I go. I do the surgery. I come out, and they're like, "We're going to send you to rehab, and it's going to be."
And you're like, "Wait, there's something missing." When did you notice that the dick ring
I
wasn't
had
in
told
there?
them about it, and like I was like, "You may want to take it out in case you have to put in a catheter." You know what I mean? Like.
And then when you come to, you're like, "Excuse me for a second."
I still have it. Like they put it in a little baggie for me. I still have it.
Do you get it re-pierced?
No, it didn't. It never healed up. Look, I got the tool right here.
Jesus, help me. Sweet Jesus. Christ, help me. All right, where were we in the story?
So they sent me to rehab, and it's like the best rehab I've ever been to. It's like co-ed, and fucking, they've got a pool table. It's just really nice, and they go and they have volleyball, and they do smart recovery, and they bring these meetings in there.
Yeah.
And I have a fucking gunshot wound, so I can't play volleyball. I can't shoot pool. I can't. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm still on Oxy, too. They're like weaning me off the Oxys. And I'm like, I think I'm going to leave. And they're like, okay.
You're like, this isn't that fun. I think I have to go.
And like my girlfriend, the girl that I'm with, the nurse, she's still doing meth. You know what I mean? She had no problems with me doing meth. It was the heroin that was
She
the
didn't
issue.
like the heroin. Why was that the issue?
Because
she didn't do it.
Well, that and like I would nod out and like, I'd get sick.
She didn't
all
like
the time.
that.
She didn't
It was
like
inconvenient. It was inconvenient.
Very inconvenient.
Yeah.
So they send me off with some Suboxone, and I'm like, I'm not taking this. I want some heroin, And at some point, I'm back at her house. She came and picked me up, and she's got to go to work. And so I borrowed her mom's truck, and I went and got some heroin, and it had been a little while. And I was with some friends, and like, dude, I was blowed the fuck out. And I leave them, and I go to get gas at a gas station, and I nod it out. And then the cops are like knocking on the window. And I get out, and I take my coat off, and they're like, we need you to do a sobriety test. I'm like, okay, no problem. And a kit's in the car and everything, like. But I do this field sobriety.
What kit?
My kit, my heroin kit. And so...
what's in the heroin kit? There's heroin,
it's
there's a needle, a spoon.
It was like a soft harmonica case. With
like a
spoon,
zipper up one?
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I'm talking about. And I passed the field sobriety test. No problem. He leaves. I go back, and I'm looking for my fucking keys to my girlfriend's mom's truck. Can't find them anywhere.
Horrible.
I'm like, did I throw them away? Did I do this? Did the cop take them? Do I need to call the cops back out here to see if he had my keys? 2 hours, another cop came and helped me look for him. I was there for like 2.5 hours. My phone's dead. The girl is blowing me up, dude. And like, and then like I look in the jacket pocket, and the keys were in my jacket pocket.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So then she's like, you're on fucking heroin. I know you're on heroin. And I'm like, baby, I'm not on, like, you know what I mean? I'm just lying. Like, so I'm like, I'll take a drug test and prove.
That's always smart to vouch for the drug test that you'll fail.
Okay. So I came up with this contraption, right? And it was like a little jar, and I had a little suction thing that I could put under my arm. And I ran the tube down my back, under my balls, through the piercing, the bottom part of the piercing. So the piercing was all of a sudden useful for the first time. And that's why I told you about it to begin with, to get to this story. So I had gotten pee from a buddy of mine that I knew was like, he only did meth. That's all he did. And so like I peed right in front of her. You know what I mean? And, but she doesn't. But she didn't see the tube and all this stuff. Nope. Mm-mm.
And this was only for your girlfriend to show her that you only had meth. But so that you should, it's like, no, baby, there's just meth in this pee. It's not even clean pee.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's like, see, I told you I was telling the truth, you know? And like, she, like, for years, like, was still like, I don't know how you passed that drug test. And eventually I told her. But, you know, man, so it's back and forth. Like, I had to learn how to shoot up with one hand, you know? And
because of your gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then I'm back at my parents because she finally. I went to a doctor's appointment. She parked the car. She went out to the car to get it to pull it around and found my kit in her car in my backpack and sent me a picture of it and was like, "Fuck you, I'm out." And she took off. She threw it away. So here I am stuck in downtown Birmingham. Call my dad to come get me. He comes and gets me. And I'm back in my parents' house. I'm like 34 years old. Gunshot wound. Crashing at my parents' house.
3 kids.
3 kids. Yep.
Penis ring.
Yep. Dick piercing.
Yes.
And
is this when you decide to start drinking urine?
Dude, I'm telling you, man, we're not even close.
We have to be close.
We're getting there. So I end up, like, my parents want me to stay clean, of course. And, like, I'm just like, nah, I'm not doing that. And eventually my mom's like, you got to go. You got to go. I had, like, my cell phone, I was just using it on Wi-Fi. I had left my laptop open, and, like, she saw a text message with my buddy and my buddy Brandon. And so Brandon was there when I got shot. And so he lets me come stay with him in his dad's basement and with his girlfriend. And
that's the way to negotiate staying, using, and not being around your folks, is he'll move in with Brandon.
Yep. I'm going to move in with Brandon. We're going to steal. And we get, I'm just staying down there, and we're going and stealing from Walmarts and doing all kinds of shit. Whatever we can do to get by. And one night, I'm like in the garage smoking a cigarette, and Brandon's got this 1911 that he kept from our days or whatever, that gun that we had stolen. And his girlfriend grabs it, and she's like, I'm going to fucking kill myself. They're just arguing, dude, because we ain't got no dope, and that's just what you do when you don't have dope and you're in a relationship. And she's like, I'm going to kill myself. He said, give me that fucking shit. And, like, he didn't know she had taken the safety off. So he goes and puts it in his waist, and he fucking blows a 45 caliber hole into his thigh, in and out, God. Clean.
It shoots through.
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm smoking a cigarette, minding my own business. They're arguing. Bam, there's a gunshot. And I'm like, this is it. It's over. Everything's done. And he comes hobbling out, dude. And he's like, I fucking shot myself. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Brandon, you know? And, like, he looks at it, and it's pretty clean. It's not, like, profusely bleeding. Puts an ace bandage on it, and he's like, let's go to Walmart. And I'm like, okay. You know, like, so.
He's like, it's clean. We can do it.
So we go to Walmart, and, like, one we'd never been to before. And, like, as soon as we walk in, they're like, they're on us. They're on us immediately. Like, we'd never been there before, but they knew what was up. He's hobbling around. She's like, I'm out. I'm going to be outside, you guys. If y'all want to come out, we should get out of here. Let's go somewhere else. And next thing I know, she's being followed out by loss prevention. And she had, like, tried to steal some hair coloring, still had the box in her purse. And so I'm like, you don't have to, like, we can just go. We can just go. Come on. They can't keep you. And about that time, the cops pull up. So it's like, well, we're fucked now. So she's talking to loss prevention and talking to the cops and the other cops that are there. I'm, like, talking to them, doing card tricks for them and entertaining them. And then I'm like, I don't know where Brandon is at this point, but they're like, Brandon, come here. And, like, they had caught him leaving the car. And they come and they search his pockets and they pull out a needle. And they're like, well, you're under arrest, but it's a signature bond. You can just, your friends can just come pick you up. You can just sign yourself out. And he's like, signing himself out, and there's, like, blood on the, he's bleeding all over the place.
Right.
And he gets in the car, and I'm like, where the fuck is that pistol, Brandon? and he fucking reaches into his waistband, and he had that pistol on him the whole time.
Oh my God.
The whole time he was in the jail. They had like found that needle and just stopped.
That's crazy.
And then I think we went and traded that pistol for dope that night. Yep.
So when are you like things need to shift?
Well,
What happened to Brandon?
he's around. He's in recovery. He's good.
Nice.
Yeah. I still talk to him on occasion.
Okay, good.
Yeah. He's actually who introduced me to Victoria.
And what happened to the nurse?
She's still in and out of my life right now. She's like trying to move on. She's like quitting meth, which is like, good, because diabetics and meth, it's not, meth for anything is not good, but when you're diabetic, it's really not good. I go to
What pushes you to the end of this thing?
Well, I had worn out my welcome at Brandon's house. You know what I mean? His dad. It was just a crazy situation. And
Well, it doesn't seem like that it was that good of a situation in the first place.
Nah.
Anyway, so where do you go?
I go to, I convinced my dad to take me to detox. You know what I mean? And I go and do this assessment, and you can go for free at this point.
Hold on, was that the bottom? Or was it a cumulative bottom? I feel like there's something I'm missing here.
It was just like I couldn't go home. I couldn't stay with Brandon. I had to do something. Homelessness is not for me, So I'm like, let me try to get in detox. Dad, will you help me? Take me to detox, And so I go and do this assessment, and I go to this nice detox, and somebody had smuggled heroin into it. And I'm so shot out that they had to draw blood from my feet.
Yeah.
And I end up leaving that one too in Anniston, Alabama. And I sent in, I think this might have been one of the first stories I ever sent in, but.
Do we play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Was Chris alive or had he been dead already?
No. I didn't know. Chris had died long before I started listening.
Okay.
So I leave the detox. I'm an hour east of Birmingham. I don't know anyone there. This dude that was supposed to come out and we were supposed to take off together, but all I had was a suitcase and my guitar. I'm wandering around. I'm trying to score dope in Anniston. I don't know anyone. I have $20, and I tried to sell my guitar, and this guy was going to give me $40 for it and take the guitar, but he ended up he's like, here, man, just take it. And he just gave me the money. I got ripped off by some homeless people. I went to Walmart and bought 100 pack of needles because I was very optimistic that I would find dope. That's the first thing I did. And then I got dropped off in the worst part of Anniston. Couldn't score, and so I went to the bus station to get a bus back to Birmingham. And the nurse wired me her last $40 to get me a bus ticket. And
I remember that story.
Yeah, and the guy at the bus station, I traded it for a half a gram of meth. I traded my guitar that I'd had since I was 15 years old. And
I feel like that. I remember that story it was recent too. It's weird how that goes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find a vein. I'm trying to shoot up in the bus stop, and this guy comes in and he's banging on the floor and he's clearing his throat, and I'm like, what does this dude want, And then he gets up and he leaves, and I'm just trying to fix or whatever. And another guy, or maybe it was the same guy, I don't know, but he comes in and he starts talking to me about how lonely it is on the road and how he had met somebody and they were supposed to have an encounter. And he's like, do you ever get lonely? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm just. And so he ends up leaving, and I finally got that shot off. So now I'm up and I'm headed back to Birmingham, and we're fucking things make sense where you can't throw a rock in Birmingham without hitting a dope dealer, and God intended. And I'm homeless there for the night, but I've got dope and I've got meth, and I meet this other kid who just happened to be homeschooled his whole life too. And we start up a conversation, and it's Father's Day weekend, and he lets me stay at his house for the night, and then he is going to go see his dad for Father's Day, and he drops me off at my parents. My parents weren't home. I end up walking to my the mother of my youngest's house and knocking on the door, and I'm crying, and I'm like, she thinks I'm still in detox, and I'm like, I left, and I just need a place to stay till my parents get back. I'm going to go back to detox. And she reluctantly lets me stay there, and then she left her keys sitting on the counter, and you just can't do that. You know what I mean? How dare she leave? And I stole her car, and I went back to that gas station that I had gotten shot at and was just asking random people for drugs for boy. And I got it. And I went back to her house, and I was not sick that night. And like a week later, I went to another detox, which was horrible.
It's just the most miraculous thing to be dope sick and need heroin and go get it, and then you have it. It's just,
Yeah.
I understand the purpose of that story.
Yeah.
It's a miraculous thing. So how long are you back with her?
I stayed there the night. My parents came back. I came to my dad crying. It was going to be a couple days before I could even go back to do another assessment, to go to another detox, and I didn't even tell the freaking Googling where to buy heroin story, but that was recently. That one got played when I was working in Atlanta with this dude, the dude that went into psychosis. Immediately, I gave him a shot of meth, and he just disappeared off the job. Well, fast forward months and months later, I'm stuck at my parents' house in between detoxes, and somebody hits me up on Facebook, and I don't even know who the fuck it is. I have no idea who this person is, and he's like, I'm like, I'm struggling. I kind of want to get high, and he's like, well, I'll come get you. So he comes and gets me. And once I get in the truck, I still don't know who he is. And I'm like, who are you? He's like, we worked together in Atlanta, remember? And I'm like, oh, fuck. Cool. You know what I mean? And so I got high that night. And I go to this detox, and I finally decide to go to rehab. And I go to rehab, and I do really well in rehab. But I'm still a staunch atheist, and these guys are bringing in meetings. And I decided that I didn't need meetings, that I had gotten, the rehab or halfway house had gotten me a job doing electrical work, and things were pretty good there for a while. You know, man, I made it about 2 years, fucking white knuckling it. Yeah, just a misery to be around. I'm sure for the most, at work especially, because I'm just like a prick. I'm just a dick. You know what I mean? And I have no solution to this, irritable, restless, and discontentedness.
Sure.
And I'm back. But, when I went in, dude, I wanted to get a job, I wanted to get a car, I wanted to get a phone, and I wanted to get the girl back. I got all those things in the first 2 or 3 months. I'm good. You know what I mean? I moved out on my own for the first time in my life. I'm paying bills. I've got a good job. And then I decided.
And you're doing meetings.
No meetings at this point. I'm doing it on my own because I still don't believe in God. I still don't believe in spirituality. And I start drinking, and with the nurse, we're back together, and I'm drinking, and then one of my buddies from work, who's much younger than me, my boy Connor, love this kid. He's not really one of us, at least not yet. We start going to the strip club, and I start going to the strip club a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm drinking every night. And this is, there's something about a strip club, man. It's just it's not even about the naked women or any of that, or it's just you can talk about anything in there. You can just be crude and whatever, and just have fun and be free to do whatever. And I was, and I started talking to this waitress, and me and the nurse broke up for the last time. And the waitress starts bartending, and then one night she's like, I was like, I would drink your piss. And she's like, oh, really? You would? And I'm like, yeah. And so, she goes to the bathroom and, fucking fills up a cup with piss in it, dude. And I just take a shot.
You needed to get to this piss story, didn't you?
Yeah, we had to, right?
I was thinking you were going to drink your own piss.
Uh-uh.
So you drink her piss, and you guys fall in love, and did she have meth in her piss?
No, but because I drank her piss, the other girls were like, drink my piss.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ben.
And so now I'm just like drinking all the hot strippers' piss. You know what I mean? Just like line it up. But I get to this one bartender. She, and her piss was not hydrated. You know what I mean? And I do it, dude, and I did not go to sleep that night. And she ended up being my meth dealer.
She had the meth piss, the Jessa Reed meth piss.
She had the meth piss.
Amazing.
And so, yeah.
It's amazing how much, the reason you love Dopey so much is because every story that you've ever heard, you've lived. Every fucking one. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
Except there's been no methadone pill mill and no penis ring until now.
So I would always once I got on the meth, and I would wear, I don't know why, probably just for attention, but like meth makes you do weird shit even if you're straight. And like I would wear panties and stuff just to the strip club, and I would always talk about like how I could take a Snickers up the ass, like as some kind of weird flex. You know what I mean? Like,
well, how did you know you could take a Snickers up the ass?
I just knew. You know what I mean? I've never done anything like with another dude. I've never done anything with another dude. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just chicken shit. That's all there is to it.
But you've explored the anal cavity with different ladies.
For sure. Yeah.
Did you have a lot of boofing in your story that you left out?
No.
So what were they putting up there? Snickers?
No, pegging and whatnot had been done.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, this is a very robust world.
So one of the strippers called me on my bullshit. She said, "You can take a Snickers?" I'm like, "Yeah." So she goes to the gas station across the street and brings me a Snickers. Now I'm drunk. You know what I mean? Like, but like I'd already, we go in the bathroom and she's like recording it. and she's like, "No, open it." So I'm like now I'm opening and sure enough, dude, like I shove it up there, no problem. And then I take it out and I took a bite of it and ate it and then threw it in the trash can. And I've never told anyone that story.
And then they rushed you to the hospital.
No, yeah.
No fecal matter on the Snickers. You survived.
Well, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe there wasn't. You know what I mean? It probably melted a little bit.
I think you have to tell that story again because I interrupted you in the crucial part. So you take the Snickers out of your butt and you eat it, and why have you not told anybody else that story? Why are you embarrassed?
It's not my proudest moment. You know what I mean?
But dude, in the wake of all of it, why is that the story that becomes like the holy story?
Dude, like it's just one of those
because you had a Snickers up your butt and you didn't want to.
And then I ate it. Like, why did I eat it? Nobody even asked for that. I just did that.
Well, that's to show that you meant business.
Yeah, like
that you were not to be trifled with.
No,
I'll eat the Snickers that was up my butt. I'll do it.
Yeah,
that's how crazy I am. So when do you get sober?
I got a DUI. On like a Wednesday.
Fucking God, Jesus!
Like a Wednesday night.
I couldn't take much more.
I know, right? So a couple weeks before this, like I blacked out. Like hand grenades was the drink that always like just did it. Like I was done. I'm driving home, right? And I guess I nodded out and like I pop a tire on my truck, and I'm like, oh shit! I think I can make it home. I'm like 3 miles from my house. I got to go down the highway. And like I'm driving down the highway with a flat tire, completely fucked up, and I make it home. And when I wake up the next morning, I had 2 flat tires. I had driven all the way 3 miles down the highway with 2 flat tires and didn't get caught. I get that fixed a couple weeks later. It's a Wednesday night. I got to be at work in the morning. Now through all this, dude, I still show up to work every morning. And I get a DUI, man. I blacked out, and then I have to like call my parents and call my boss, and like they're looking.
How old are you?
This is this was about 4 years ago to the day almost. So
how old are you now? Though?
38. I'm 42 now. I'm 42 now. I was 38.
Where were you working?
The same place I work now, doing electrical work.
So, okay.
Like somehow through all this, I learned to trade.
Listen, I think you're a very talented guy. You got a lot of skills. A lot of skills. So what? So what do you tell your dad?
Oh boy, I got another DUI. Now at least I'm not living with him anymore. You know what I mean? So really and truly, the boss thing, because my boss is in recovery. He's got like 20 years. Really good man, good Christian man. You know what I mean? And I have to tell him, but I was not really back on meth at this point. But after the DUI, I got back on meth. Like I was going to get one bag. I was just going to smoke one weekend, and then I didn't run out for like 4 months. I had a court date coming. I'm back shooting up every single day. Still going to work, still making it somehow. And then like I was able to get heroin. I shot heroin 1 time, 2 times, and then like I was being dragged back to rehab by my boss because like I was so fucked up. Like it was just unavoidable at that point. Like I was like faking drug tests. You know what I mean? Like I was able to pass drug tests for him and everything. So, and that's when I went to rehab for the last time. Finally, I'm getting sober. They would bring those meetings in there. Some guys would bring those meetings in every week, and every week I'm like, fuck this, I can't do it. But the first time I was in rehab, there was this guy, his name's Brad, and he was a weird little dude, and he could talk the talk, and he owned a brewery, and he was sober, and I just liked him, and I said, if that guy comes in, I'm going to ask him to be my sponsor. And on the last day that I was there, he came in, the last meeting I was ever going to be at there. And I just raised my hand and I said, how do you do this without God? And he said, just call me tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Like, that's the least of it right now. Just call me tomorrow. And so I did. And I started taking suggestions and I started fucking praying. You know what I mean? And I worked the steps.
Well, how do you pray without God? I think that's a great question.
Yeah, dude, I looked at it.
I did the same thing. You know what I mean? I did exactly the same thing. And I figured out what God was by the absence of God and praying.
I knew that this idea of God worked for him. You know what I mean? And so like at this point, I'm so sick of this revolving door of just like, I can't drink like a normal person. I can't smoke. I can't do anything. And I definitely don't know how to fucking stay sober and be happy. I could be sober and miserable, but I couldn't be happy. And these, so I start praying to, I didn't know what, the universe. I still don't know. You know what I mean? I have no idea how it works, but I began to see some differences in like when I was praying. And I began to see that like there had to be something more to this. You know what I mean? Really what happened was I finally looked at it and said, how the fuck do you know if there is or isn't a God? Like nobody can say for fucking 100% sure that there is or isn't a God. And like that's all it really took, man. Like I was willing to say I just don't know.
Right.
And that's where it started. That was what opened the door for any kind of spirituality that I didn't think I could ever find. So, man, you start working the steps, you start praying. Like, I think I was on step 7 before I ever had a spiritual awakening and like a real, like profound one.
What was that?
I did that 7-step prayer, man. And like all of a sudden I was in my bed.
Which is the 7-step prayer again?
Humbly ask God to remove our shortcomings. But I don't know exactly. It's like, God remove these shortcomings. It was really simple. You know
right.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
The end of, I know what you're talking about.
It's like, thy will be done, and like, and I felt this, like, really the presence of God that I had never felt before or something. I don't know what it was. The universe, whatever. I felt relief is what I felt. I felt like I could breathe again for the first time being sober. You know what I mean?
Well, you had such a fucking long run that took you all over the map, and your 38, you have 3 children, you had taken your parents to the edge of the universe and back, and now you all of a sudden have a minute, and it's like you're like, I think that's also just the sick and tired of being sick and tired, and a window of opportunity, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to take the suggestions and it's going to work, and it did.
Yeah. And it's about that time that I started like I hadn't even finished my 4-step, and I started seeing a girl, you know what I mean? Like doing all the shit they tell you not to do. And that's the girl that introduced me to Dopey. And when that went south, man, I knew that like I had done, Bob D says I had come to the point where I could no longer put anything between myself and me. Like I had not cut off, I could no longer put anything between me and my feelings. Like I had used this and that and the other thing for years to try not to face the things that I was feeling and seeing. And so, it got to this point, and that really, like when that relationship ended, it really kicked me into fucking gear to finish my 4-step, to start helping others, to stop being so goddamn selfish.
Well, it had to go one way or the other. And I feel like, was that when you went to DopeyCon?
Yeah. That was about that time. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know, how new were you at that point?
I had 10 months. No. I had just had a year. I had just gotten a year, September 16th.
And you were pretty into it at that point, right?
Yeah, I was like, I loved it. I fucking loved it, man. I'd listened to it, and I listened for a while before I even found out Chris had died.
Right.
And then I was like, what? It just hit me. And then then I went and listened to the This American Life episode, and it just there was just something about it, man, because I'd lost a lot of people along the way.
Yeah, there's so much death in our story.
Yeah.
And then when do the women start letting you have access to your children again?
So in between that time, I had been getting my daughter, when I went to rehab the first time, at the beginning, she was letting me get her on the weekends. I could get her and bring her, but I fucked it up, man. I was playing video games. I wasn't giving her my attention. I didn't have any recovery. So I was still very selfish and self-centered. And my other daughters were getting up older, so I had access to them, as much as you can have access to a teenager. But my youngest, I really fucked it up when I went back to rehab. She had had it. There had been too many fucking opportunities to get better. But I've slowly built the trust back. You know what I mean? I'm doing the thing. I'm going and getting her on a regular basis, and I'm building that trust back. I just bought her, she doesn't know this yet, Hamilton tickets for her birthday. We're going to go to Atlanta, and she's she really wants to go see Hamilton.
That's awesome.
And then me and 2 of my daughters are going to see Hamilton in September. And I get to see her on a regular basis. I can pretty much anytime I want to, just about, as long as they ain't got nothing going on, go get her. So I have that. I haven't earned the trust back enough to get her for a weekend or whatever.
Well, you have 4 years. When's the 4 years?
September 16th will be 4 years. And
so, it's funny because I've known you basically this whole time.
Yeah.
And it feels like a million years.
Yeah.
But it's only three and a little bit. And it requires, for all of us to just keep doing the thing. And and how, obviously I rely on you, and you've been, so good, so dependable. So how is your program in general?
Well, man, those guys that brought the meeting to me, they saved my life. You know what I mean? So now I do that. I go to that same rehab. I'm actually going to go here in a little bit to that same rehab and take that very same meeting to somebody else. And I do that to a couple of rehabs and detoxes. And I've got a beautiful home group who has the same fucking focus of trying to help another I'm trying not to ruin my break any traditions. But you know what I mean? Trying to help.
Dude, you did a really good job of not breaking, way better than I do, not breaking traditions. And I know how important it is to you, and you know, when people tell me don't fuck it up, I'm like, fuck you kind of thing. But when I'm listening to how fucked up you were, and you're 3 years and 9 months out, all I want to do is just be like, just keep going. You know what I mean? It's like, and you help so many people, and it's like, it's your story's fucking crazy as fuck. And I could tell you were like, I'm not doing this unless I fucking dot every fucking I and cross every fucking T. Like, we're not doing it without the fucking tube I need the penis ring to get the tube to have the P that has the meth. Yeah, you know, listen, you're methodical, man. And I appreciate you, Ben. I love you. I'm really glad you came on and did. How do you feel?
I feel good, man. And like today, my life is so beautiful, man. I got a beautiful, healthy relationship with the girl, and like, you know, things are moving, man. And my life is good. And this was a dream come true, man. A dream. Has she tried the Snickers situation or? No, we try not to talk about that too much. I told her about it because I was like, hey, this story's going to come up. You know what I mean? She's like, does it have to? And I'm like, yeah, it does.
It didn't have to. It didn't have to.
But I feel like it makes, you know, Snickers up the ass makes it for a good headline on it or something.
Listen, I mean, that's how I know how much you care about our show. So I appreciate that.
You know, I love it, man. Yeah, thank you, Dave. Thank you for the opportunity, man. I don't know. I'd really love to know, like, what made you, like, what made you decide to, like, ask me to help out with this thing in the first place?
I don't know. I have no idea. No, I think I don't remember. It's so long. It feels like it's so long ago. I think
right after the first DopeyCon IV. You asked me to help out on the private group. That was what started it.
I just saw you were committed. I saw you were committed. You seemed to give a shit.
I had that,
and you were active in the thing. Yeah. You were committed to the thing. You cared about it. You seemed to have a way with the dopes. Yeah. And I didn't expect you to. I mean, listen, I was talking to somebody about it. I think Trinity, because Trinity's trying to help out. And I was just like, listen, fucking 99 people want to help. And only one is going to wind up sticking around and sticking with it. And you've been that person. Melanie's obviously done amazing too. But most of the time, people do not stick around. Some people do, some people don't. It's only natural to not. But I asked you because you were in it. You know what I mean? You cared about it, and you know, you never proved me wrong. And then Canadian Chrissy fucking brought us to 50,000. She taught us a lot. Yeah, right.
She did.
Then you and Melanie, but mostly, I mean, Canadian Melody. I mean, you know, mostly you brought us
Melanie.
We all love Melanie. Melanie's getting pretty frisky in the comments at me. Yeah. Have you noticed that?
No, it's because of this whole Canadian beef. That's what it is.
Canadians love being abused. Yeah. They love it. But you've taken us to, where are we at? 132,000.
135 almost. It was like 134.8.
And honestly, I owe it all to you and Melanie. Like, none of it is me at all. So, wow. And so, you know, dude, so fucking I'm at the Dopey Film Festival, and I gotta go in a second. I gotta run and catch the train. I'm at the Dopey Film Festival, and there's this dude named Jordan from New Jersey who reminds me of like a young black you, and he's like the biggest Dopey fan ever. And I was like, well, and he's never written in, he never left a comment, nothing. And I was like, how did you find out about it? He goes, Facebook. So it's like, but then he said something really interesting. He said, I didn't even know Dopey was a podcast.
What? That's crazy.
Well, but because I think we focus so much on memes and drugs addiction and dumb shit without really focusing on the podcast. But the fact that there's 135,000 people and this guy works in treatment, and you would love this guy, Jordan, by the way. He's never been to Dopey Zoom. He's never left a comment. He's never left an email. Find him. Yeah. He's in Jersey. Right. But thank you, Ben. I think you were great. Dave. Dude, are you kidding me? You know how much I love you and count on you and rely on you. And if I ever am anything but kindly, I apologize.
You're good, dude. I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
This has been great. Thank you so much.